Friday night, and you know what time it is. That is why you all are filling up the chat rather quickly, I might add. I mean, my goodness, look at you all come to the chat. I appreciate y'all. What is going on? How y'all doing up in here? We're in a building. We're about to have an exciting Friday night. It's ladies' night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what is going on? What is happening, my people? My people. Welcome back to another edition of Friday Night Vibe, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, you all have had a great week. I don't know what type of weekend plans y'all got, but hopefully you got some weekend plans on deck. And, yeah, sit back, relax, and let's see what this Friday night will bring. Woo! Yeah, baby. So, without further ado, I think it's time to get into the this evening's festivities. Yeah. All right. So, current time, 6:28 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means you are in the right place. You are on the right YouTube channel, baby. Yes. Woo! For my Friday Night Vibe veteran, you know what's about to happen next. You already know. But if you're new here, I'm going to need you to listen to this next part very, very carefully, because you will not be able to come back at me and be like, I didn't warn you, because I am warning you right now. If you are new here, if you have never tuned in to a Friday Night Vibe, I need you to listen very carefully to the next part. Listen very carefully. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Okay. All right. It looks like y'all ready. So, this, new people, listen closely. This is the part, new people, listen closely. Listen very closely. This right here is the part of the live stream where I'm going to need you to turn your volume down. Because if you don't turn your volume down, I will not be held liable for what your neighbors think about you listening to some loud dude on YouTube. That's on you, not on me. That's on you, not on me. And besides, some of y'all actually listen to the intro with headphones on, which I don't understand it. But if you are listening to this live stream with headphones on, you definitely want to turn your volume down right now. Don't say I didn't warn you. I am warning you. Turn it down now. Now, with the disclaimer out of the way, I think we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling with this evening's festivities. Yes. Look, see my people out there already. We got 21 people in the chat already. Y'all are getting here quick. Man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you all. All right. So, and it's 6:30 exactly. Oh my goodness. All right. So here we go. All right. Let's bellow out a good intro tonight. Let's bellow out a good intro tonight. I warned you all to turn your volume down, yo. I warned you all to turn your volume down. I will not warn you anymore. This is your last warning. Turn your volume down. Turn the volume down. Woo! Okay, baby. All right. Here we go. Oh, yes. Let's get into the festivities of the evening. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Fight, baby. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! It is that day again. We are back. We are live on YouTube. Oh, yes. Oh, that was good. That was good. So, before I get started with tonight's festivities, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. First on the list, we got Anthony Beltray. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Jose G. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? iOS Gino is out there in the cut. What's up, Gino? How you doing, baby? How you doing? We got the Snowman Can. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Alan Osborne is here. What's up, Alan? How you doing? We got Don Colvin, what's up, Don? How you doing, baby? How you doing? The Apple Jockey himself, Alex Jackson is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Ace Rock Cola. Shout out to Ace for putting out his very first YouTube video this week. I see you, Ace. Good looking, baby. Good looking. We got the Norwegian sensation, LVA. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? How you doing? We got Simple Device Advice. What a name. My God, that's a mouthful. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got the tech preacher in the building, Eric, Mr. Easy Computer Solutions. What's up, bro? How you doing? Oh, always love to see Eric in the building. We got my man Digital Slang out there. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? How you doing? We got Ethnic in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing, Ethnic? How you doing? Oh, let me go back up and see what we got my homie from the UK, Marvin Wallace. What's up, Marvin? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Leon Green is here. What's up, Leon? How you doing? And Tech for Your Needs. What's up, bro? How you doing? And we got Mrs. Liz Brousseau. Hey, Liz, how you doing? How you doing? And we got my head of security, El Jefe Review. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Who else we got? Let me go down here and see. We got Dennis Carlson. What's up, Dennis? How you doing? All the way from Sweden. Oh my goodness, that is what's going on. What's up, bro? How you doing? I appreciate you. My enforcer, Genosis, is here. What's up, Genosis? How you doing? We got Check the Tech. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Oh, we got Perp Minded is back. What's up, bro? How you doing? Perp Minded. Oh, we got 504 out there too. What's up, 504? How you doing, baby? How you doing? And we got the Bionic Scoop. What's up, bro? How you doing? How you doing? And we got Intimate out there too. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? How you doing? And Zach Talk Tech. What's up, bro? How you doing? What's up, Zach? What's going on? Who else we got? And I think that is it. That is all. That is it. I think I called everybody. If I missed you, I don't think I did, but if I missed you, just post up again and I'll catch you on the run back. Also, shout out to my Lurk Squad. I know y'all out there lurking. Yeah, I know y'all out there lurking because when I brought MKBHD up here last week, some of y'all came out of the shadows. So I know y'all out here lurking. So shout out to my Lurk Squad. I see y'all. I know y'all out there. I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week for another edition of Friday Night Vibe. Speaking of live streams and things like that, on Monday afternoon, this coming Monday, yes, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday afternoon, I guess that's Monday evening, Vibe Drive will be live. And Vibe Drive will be live with the very first guest I've ever had on the podcast. He's coming back finally after some 143 episodes. My very first guest ever is finally coming back to the podcast. The one, the only John Rettinger will be here with your boy live on Monday evening. So definitely make sure you come back for that, because that will always be a good chat, as it usually is when me and Rettinger get together. So definitely be back for Monday night Vibe Drive live with me and John Rettinger. Now, what am I doing? I don't even know what the hell. Obviously tonight is ladies' night, and I got a few of my badass lady friends coming in here shortly, but that's in 25 minutes. So what am I doing for the 25 minutes? I don't know. Do y'all got any questions or anything? I know today is Galaxy S21 day. Shout out to the Samsung Knights out there who grabbed themselves an S21, S21 Plus, or S21 Ultra. Shout out to all of y'all. I know y'all happy AF today. I've heard good things about those phones. Your boy Viper doesn't really have any interest. I mean, I don't even have any FOMO. I mean, everybody's unboxing their S21s, showing off that nice as hell Phantom Black. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I have no FOMO. I have none. And which is kind of crazy because normally when a new phone comes out, especially one as popular as the S line of phones, I have some FOMO. But I don't have any FOMO. Instead, what I went out and did myself against my better judgment, as Genosis is highlighting in the chat here, is I went out and I picked up a second pair of AirPods Max. Don't do that. Do not do that. I would not recommend you go pick these up. They still have the issue with the condensation, but I wanted the color, so I got it. It is what it is. But yeah, it's S21 day. And if you guys in the chat pick one up today, let me know how you like it. I know Zach got a couple of them sent to him. Yeah, so y'all guys, if any of you all in the chat have the S21 Ultra, let me know how you like it. And we'll have a little brief chat about that. But yeah, Other than that, I have no FOMO. I just don't care. And I don't care, and it's all Samsung's fault. It is Samsung's fault because I got my hands on the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Bruh, let me tell y'all something. Once you mess around with the Z Fold 2 for a while, it is extremely difficult to go back to the regular candy bar smartphones. Now, obviously, I have an iPhone, so you're like, Viper, what are you talking about using an iPhone? And that is true, but it's an iPhone. It's not an Android. It is extremely difficult for me to go back to a regular Samsung S phone or any other Android for that matter when you play with a Fold 2, with a foldable Android. It is hard to go back. So because Samsung kind of ruined it for me with the Fold 2, I just have no cares about the S21 line of phones. I am pretty sure they are great devices, and that Phantom Black and calling my name, my God, makes me shiver. But even that sexy Phantom Black is not enough to lure me in. I have no FOMO. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. I know a lot of y'all care. Your boy Viper does not care. I am waiting for the Z Fold 3. Then come talk to me. When the Z Fold 3 hits, then I will care. But right now, or maybe the Note 21. The Note 21 always have my interest because that's the Note 21. But I have no cares right now about this S21 line of phones. I just don't care. And that's not to say that they are bad devices, because they're not bad devices. I just don't care because I have the Fold 2, and the Fold 2 is a beast. Let me go down here and take it out here and see what we got. We got somebody sneaking in late. We got Joseph Hardison. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Let's see. What we got? Blah, 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 blah. That's right. That Fold 3 is talking to me. Well, not yet, but it will be. All right, Zach does not have the Ultra yet, but I'm guessing he's getting one. That's cool. Yes. Even though I had no business buying these, I got them anyway because I had to have the Space Grave. And oh my Lord, these are sexy AF in person. My God, I've seen videos and pictures, but once you get them in person, oh my God, I am so pissed for buying the silver ones. I was a waste of money. I should have got the Space Grave first. The hell wrong me. But oh well, it is what it is. I can't. Hey, what's done is done. Yeah, I saw Jason got an S21 as well. I'm kind of shocked at that, but I don't know. I just don't have any cares for it right now. I just don't care. Let's see. The poet's out there. He got a Z Fold 2. He understands. He said even the Z Fold 2 is even shooting a lot of his videos now. Seriously, man. Once you get the Fold 2, man, it ruins other phones for you for real. It ruins it, man. It ruins it. So wait. Mike said I made a mistake not buying one, huh? Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, if I made a mistake not buying an S21, I made a mistake, but I'm okay. I will be all right. I will be all right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this has been all over the news, man. These GameStop stocking. I don't know. I am not a stock market expert, but I see we got Miss Shannon down there. She was trying to explain it to me a little bit earlier today, so I appreciate Shannon having a one-on-one conversation with me about the stock market. I think I picked up a little bit, but still, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it sounds like a bunch of rich dudes pulled over on them. I know that Robinhood app, they're taking a beating because they stopped the trading or whatever, or stopped the buying or selling or whatever of GameStop and AMC stock. And man, they are taking a beating in the press. And now they're trying to like walk it back a little bit, but it's a little late. Once you take that beating, it's hard to walk back. They're not walking that back. So this will probably be the end of Robinhood as you know them. They're not coming back. It seems like everybody's moving over to this platform called Public. I guess it's another stock trading application platform. I don't know. I don't keep up with the stuff, but everybody's moving over to Public now. So hey, it is what it is. Hey, Janothan, hush, Janothan, hush. Because if that happened, I would have to have those too. I need you to hush, Janothan. I need you to hush. I mean, these things are already expensive enough. I need you to hush. Be quiet, Janothan. Be quiet. Okay, be quiet. Man, I can only give Apple so much money. I mean, damn. All right, so the poet says people didn't read the fine print when they signed up to Robinhood. When I read it, it came out there was no way in hell I was giving them my money. What was in the fine print is what they were doing. Oh yes, it's always that fine print that gets you every time. My goodness, that fine print is lethal sometimes, man. when you are dealing with stuff like that, especially when it has to do with money, you better be reading that fine print. You better be reading that. Oh, we got Craig. Maybe. What's up, Craig? He said, we all like different things. My carrier let me trade in my S20 Ultra for the S21 Ultra. Hey, that's a good carrier. I mean, that's what all the carriers do, though. They let you trade in and things like that. So, yo, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Your boy Viper does not do stock market, so I didn't do any of that stuff. I don't have any of those apps. I don't do any stock market stuff. That's just that's over my head. That's over my head. So I didn't do anything with that. I know the homies out there like Andrew Edwards and Business Tech Today, Brandon, and a bunch of other people are making moves in the stock market and doing all the stock marketing things. And Viper Chicken looking like, oh, okay. I mean, all right. Sure. That what does that mean? Like what? Huh? What do you mean? What hedge fund owner? What's a hedge fund? I'm like, huh? What is going on? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. All right, so it's about what I'm trying to say. It's about 15 minutes to 8. Let me start sending out the link to the ladies so we can get the ladies in here tonight. It should be fun. Not sure how this conversation is going to go because I never planned for this stuff. You know, I invite people on. And I tell them we're going to have a general conversation about tech and everything and whatnot and the other. But I never know how these live streams are going to go. So I'm going to come over here and post up the link. And boom. Come on in whenever you're ready. Come on in. And yeah. And we'll see who comes on in. I had a couple of people back out on me today, so that kind of sucked, but life happens, so can't really do anything about it. Now I need to take the link that I pasted and go to the gram real quick. I need to go to the gram because not everybody's on Twitter, so I got to go out to the gram real quick. So give me a minute while I do that. I'm going to copy link. Going to take that link and put it in my gram, and we'll figure that out. All right, here we go. Okay, boom, boom, bam. All right, so that one got sent to the gram, and we are good to go. I hope Shannon will still be coming. I don't know. I mean, are you coming, Shannon? I don't know. Are you coming, Shannon? I don't know. I'll just mess with you. I don't know what it is, but when I try to invite females to the live stream, they just don't reply. Well, a couple of them reply, but they usually don't reply. So I have to go hunting. I have to go out and look. I have to go out and look for people, man. I have to go out and look for people. So I went out and I found some people. So that's what I do. I go out. If they don't want to come, I'll go find them, because I have no problem going out and recruiting some females to rock out with me. I have no issue doing this. Oddly enough, I shouldn't say oddly enough, but on my main channel on YouTube, my viewership is 20% women. I don't know where they came from, but I'm glad they're there because I remember when I first started, that percentage was much, much lower. It was like 2% when I first started. So we're from 2% to 20%. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. But one of my first ladies of the evening is here. So this young lady I met in the Clubhouse app. Y'all know how much I love Clubhouse. She is the hostess with the mostest, one of the most bubbly, most positive people I probably have ever met in my life. She's amazing. She's incredible. And she's here and she's live with your boy Viper. Let's welcome in Miss Liz Brousseau. Hi, Liz.
Hi. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How you doing?
I'm so good. Is my sound and stuff okay? I am not like a live stream queen like you guys are.
You do live stream. Yes, you're sounding fine. You are sounding good.
Okay, awesome. How's it going?
It is going. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I think we can expect maybe another 5 or 6 more ladies to join us, and whenever they can get here, and that'll be cool. So, How long have you been on Clubhouse?
That's a good question. I don't think I know. Maybe 2. I want to say 2 weeks.
What? 2?
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, I mean, I could probably go back through my Insta and figure it out, but yeah, it hasn't been that long, Viper. Honestly,
you have made that much noise in 2 weeks. Damn. Wow.
I don't know. I think I've just been in the right place at the right time a lot. That's what I think.
Y'all see my face right now. I'm shocked. Like, if y'all knew how big she was on the platform, and if you'd only been there 2 weeks, I'm shocked right now. I'm like in disbelief.
Okay. I'm gonna check my Insta because I don't want to be lying. Maybe 3 weeks, but no more than 3 weeks for sure.
That's still crazy. Wow.
Is that crazy?
The impact that you've had on the platform in that limited of time is kind of mind-boggling.
Okay, here's the first day. Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, January 9th.
Okay.
How long has that been?
So
3
about
weeks.
3 weeks. A week after I got there. So yeah.
Yeah.
So in 3 weeks, you have made so many ripples. Like people are actually requesting the women to host their chat rooms now. Like, because in Clubhouse, you guys, for those of y'all that don't use the app, every room has a moderator. So the moderators are the ones that like run the room. They control the pacing of the room. They control who can come up on stage and talk to people and things like that. This woman has been on the app 3 weeks, and people are already requesting her to moderate their room. She is that good. Wow, I'm mind blown.
I don't know. You know what? There's so many good moderators. Like now I'm listening to other moderators because this role of being like a hostess is becoming like a thing on Clubhouse. And there's actually way better moderators than me out there. There's so many people I need to learn from.
I would beg to differ. You are pretty amazing, and you're my best. I love my favorite though when they start talking too much and you just slide on them like, "Oh, excuse me, that's good, but I need you to."
I think I understand your question.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
I think I know what you're trying to ask.
Yes. People will get their whole ass life stories up there. Just get to the point already. My goodness.
Yeah, but you know what? I was talking with another moderator today, and she said what she does is she goes into their bio and she's like, so I'm going to invite up Viper, the man about tag, blah, blah, blah. And she'll do like a little riff on them and then pass the mic and be like, we're ready for your question. So she like shuts down the backstory. And I was like, smooth.
Bruh.
Right?
That is amazing. There are some awesome moderators on there for sure, but you are definitely one of the best. But like, it's like you have an idea of how to keep the pace of the room, but between your knowing how to run a room properly and your positivity and bubbly personality, it's just a perfect blend of awesome, and I love it.
Thanks, man. Well, I get to hang out with you, so that makes me happy. It's a dream team thing. It's you and me together. Stop it.
Listen. The people show up for Liz. Viper I'm just security, but they show up for Liz.
Just security.
I'm just security. Because people, they understand, like, if they don't leave quietly, there's going to be a problem. Because everybody knows that I hate people that don't leave quietly. So if you don't leave quietly, you got problems.
See, I'm going to break your heart right now for a second.
Oh?
I totally disagree with you.
Really? About the leave quietly thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. Now you have my attention.
I know, I've never told you this. I'm like blushing a little bit. Okay, here's what I think. Yeah, I know, because you're always like, you press the leave quietly button.
Yeah.
That's my I want to see the comments. I want to see your comment section. I want to see what people are saying. I got to fix my screen. Hi, guys. Yeah, because I was like, this is my impression of Viper, guys. Let me know in the comments if I did good. You got to use the leave quietly button. You can't interrupt the room. And I'm like, and I'm over here. I know. And I'm over here like, oh my God, Viper, I disagree. I knew you would love that.
That's hilarious.
I think it's rude if people just like jet, and especially if I'm doing like moderating or whatever, like I don't even think it's, first off, we need to define the word like moderating and hostess, because I think everybody with the green star is a moderator. But I think if you're being the hostess, your very specific role is to like not talk. It's not about me if I'm hostessing. Like if somebody's asked me to hostess a room, it's not about me. I'm just there as like the gatekeeper and kind of keeping the flow happening. And then I get to be the rude person that shuts off the person who's talking too much. And then like the moderators, the real wonderful people that other people have showed up to hear speak, they don't have to be that person. So I like that. But it's frustrating for me if I think that I have like 4 or 5 different moderators up on the stage that I'm kind of like, doing questions for, and one of them just jets. And I'm like, where'd you go? So I want them to be like, excuse me, I'm leaving.
So you would have somebody, like if you were talking to somebody else on stage and a moderator or anybody on stage had to go, you would want them to interrupt your conversation and let you know that they're leaving.
I would totally want them to wait for like an appropriate time. Like, don't be rude. It's not all about you, right? Just say hi to Viper.
Oh, what we got here? Oh, hello. You're Mini Liz. Hi, Mini Liz.
They like to crash my live streams. Bye. His quality. And she thinks your quality is better than mine. So
Well,
she's
I'm
Team
kinda cheating.
Viper.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, I would like it if they would wait for an appropriate time to like and just be like, hey Liz or hey whoever, just letting you guys know I have to check out. Thanks so much for the conversation. You know, you don't have to give us your life story of why you're leaving, but I like it when people are like, hey guys, just like thanks for having me. I'll catch you later. And then I get to be like, thanks for coming. I don't know. I think it's
Okay, so I have been very vocal about this on Twitter, and I've had conversation with different people about this. So if there is a pause in the conversation, then I don't have an issue with people announcing that they're leaving because there's a pause in the conversation and you have your opening. But if there's an ongoing conversation and you blurt out interrupting it to announce that you're leaving, I'm coming for you. I just find you rude and disrespectful. There's a reason the button is right there. It's literally labeled "Leave quietly." I
don't. You have to understand now. Whenever I'm like in a room with you, I just want to like bug you a little bit and like press the unmute and be like, Viper, I'm just gonna go for a second.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it.
No, I agree with you. If you straight up are like interrupting the flow of the conversation and interrupting the jam, not appropriate. But you know what? I think also if you're like up there on stage and if you know, you've been brought up on stage, you've been given that moderator role and you're interacting in the conversation, then you should be able to wait, you know, the 3 or 4 minutes so that you're interrupting at an appropriate time. I don't know.
I mean, like, if there's an opening, then I understand it and I'm cool with that. But like I said, if you're just interrupting the conversation just to announce to the world that you're leaving, like, there's a button for you. Go fetch the button. Go fetch it.
Okay, well, me and Viper as the official rule makers.
I mean, this is crazy.
We think you have to wait for a pause. Does Viper?
My camera is running. I don't know what the hell it's running at, but I know the stream is outputting at 720p because I won't pay StreamYard for 1080. So yeah, everything that you're seeing, guys, is 720p. So it is what it is.
It probably looks really good compared to my in-camera MacBook camera.
You're using a webcam. You're using a webcam from the MacBook, and I'm using my Sony A7. I'm cheating, so it's okay. It's okay.
You guys have to teach me how to like connect my camera and sound and all of those things. I need to fly you to Canada.
Now, what kind of camera do you normally use to shoot your videos?
This guy right here. Canon Rebel.
So actually, I think you could just plug that directly into your MacBook and use it as the webcam.
I mean, I probably could.
I think Canon has that ability that you could just plug it right in. And if not, you could just buy a Cam Link and do it that way. But I believe that with the Canons, you can plug it directly into the computer and use it as a webcam.
Oh, that is so scary to me. That's so scary.
It's not scary. Okay, so let's talk about our favorite subject since you've been on Clubhouse for 3 weeks. So in your 3 weeks on the platform, what do you think about Clubhouse so far?
Oh what are you
in the middle of a live stream? What are you doing? Sorry about that. My Google thingy being stupid.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, my cat is going to be stupid here in a bit. Yeah, my big fat cat is in here now.
Yes, you think she
Liz from Canada. Yeah, I'm even representing. I got like Campground Canada type gear on. I wanted to feel Canadian tonight.
Well, Liz.
Hi.
Yes, from all the way from Canada. Yep.
Genesis. Am I saying this right? Genesis, are you Canadian?
Genosis. Yes, he's Canadian.
Where are you from? Where's he from?
I think where is he from? I mailed him something one day and I forgot where he's from. I think he's is it British Columbia, maybe? I don't know.
Oh yeah, BC.
Oh, all right. Oh, I got it right.
Yes. Cool. I'm by Calgary. Ooh. Oh, you're in the Okanagan. I like the Okanagan. Yeah, the Okanagan's great. I'm near Calgary. I'm closer to Banff. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what all that is. I just know that he's in BC. And I know you're in Calgary.
Yeah, near Calgary. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so what do I think about Clubhouse? I mean, this is such a good conversation. I'm so glad to get to like chat with you about this. I think a lot. Do you see this week, has it been less busy on Clubhouse than previous weeks?
No, I think it's just certain days. Like, what was it? Monday, I think it was pretty jumping, but then Tuesday it was like, or maybe no, Tuesday was jumping. Wednesday wasn't much going on, and then yesterday was kind of jumping. And tonight it's kind of jumping. So I think it just varies from day to day.
Yeah. Yeah, because weren't we on like all day Tuesday, you and I? And we got sucked into like a vortex of
we're on a lot. So I mean, that could be
we're on a lot. I had to check off a little bit. I forget. I think it was Tuesday. I was on Clubhouse for like way too freaking long, and I had got no work done, and it's been awful.
I think that was Tuesday because you had to shoot a video. But we have been joined by two more ladies, so let me bring them. First, I got to bring in Miss up and coming filmographer, Mrs. Backpack reviewer, Mrs. Technical Badass herself, Mrs. Windy City, Michelle Martinez is back on the building. What's up, Michelle?
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you been?
Oh, pretty good. Staying busy, so not too bad.
No doubt. And along with Michelle, I have to bring in one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, the digital artist badass herself, Miss Summer Silvery, for the first time ever. Finally, I got you in here. Hey, Summer.
Hi. Hey. Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
This is cool. How you doing tonight?
Amazing.
So this is funny because me and Summer talked 13 hours ago because she usually Clubhouse every morning. We have this daily affirmation room that she hosts every morning, and I'm usually there hanging out. So, hey, hello again.
Hi. Yeah, I get up super early. Well, I mean, I'm on West Coast, so it's 5:30 in the morning for me. But
how do you get up so early to host that room, man?
I get up at 4:30 every morning.
No, I can't. Nope, not my life.
I'm dead by 6. So, I mean, it's not you. It's like a give or take thing. I'm completely useless after that.
I'm just, wow, that's amazing. Well, I appreciate both of you ladies joining me tonight. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So
happy to be back.
I think, me and Liv were talking about our time, or we're talking about her time on Clubhouse for the 3 weeks she's been on the platform. So Liz, I think you were acting about the vibe during the different days of the week, right?
Yeah, like if I don't know, I just felt like it was slower this week on Clubhouse, but maybe because I made a conscious effort to like unclubhouse a bit so I could actually get life done.
Yeah, because I think it was Wednesday, you were not on the platform Wednesday at all. You were just like gone.
I know, but I could feel the platform calling me. I could feel it being like, Liz, come back. Yeah.
Clubhouse turned off that feature, that like hide feature. And I've been like swiping right on everything, like a lot of stuff that seems spammy, like millionaires, billionaires, or like grow your social platform in 2 seconds. I've been swiping right on a ton of stuff, and that's been helping my hallway clear out from like the chaos.
Oh,
yeah. I anytime I see like a room with like 1,000 people, I go, get out. I don't want that. Get out of here. I agree with you, Summer. Dude, how to be a millionaire practice.
I didn't know there was a swipe right. So there's a swipe right in your hallway that you can just not show up.
Yeah, so you can hide rooms now. So if you see a room swipe right, you can hide it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
I know I had to turn off the notifications because I would see my phone light up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't right now. I need to sleep.
And it's like Viper's in this room and he thinks you should come.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I can't.
I don't ping anyone. Because most of the rooms I'm in is like techie rooms and things like that. But yeah,
that's something I hate about Clubhouse. Honestly, it's kind of awkward when people see you in rooms that you may be interested in that isn't necessarily your brand or how people and then they pop in, and then you're just like, no, don't pop in. I wanted to check it out. It's so awkward.
I've had to happen a couple of times, especially at the late night. Sometimes I'm popping into the love rooms or why are you single rooms, and then somebody that follows my brand like that right now. I'm like, oh no, what are you doing here? Go away.
It's so awkward.
There's no reading a smutty. Yeah, there's no reading a smutty magazine on Clubhouse. Like everybody who follows you knows that you're in there.
There's no secrets, none, man. Everything is out there. It's like the X-Files is out there.
It's so weird.
Michelle, I invited you to the app, but I have not seen you on the app much. What's happening, Michelle? Where you at?
I had to like take a pause. I think like what Liz said, I had to like get grounded on work, be able to do like my edits. I did for the first couple of weeks, like try to have it on while I'm editing, but I realized I was like always constantly distracting. I had to pause the edit or lower the volume. But I do like to go on it. I'll try to go on it like at least an hour a day. So I'm working on it. Balance.
Wow. You can go on Clubhouse an hour, just 1 hour a day?
I gotta,
Teach us how you do that.
That is incredible. I could never. My God.
It's hard.
Run some late rooms sometimes. It's crazy.
Oh, well, I'm an old lady. So, I mean, along with Summer, I do wake up earlier. But like around this time, no lie, 7:30, me and my dog are usually like in bed. We're ready.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah, I'm with Summer on that.
you're
100%.
looking. So you're living that summer life. You're in bed for like 6, 7 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in bed at like 8 o'clock. Like I'm in full, like it's like mechanical shutdown mode. Like
Wow, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
done.
So if y'all go to bed that early, that means all of y'all must wake up like uber early too.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, see.
Nice.
I wake up because I have to, but yeah, when we get, I don't wake up that early. Anybody got time for that?
That's crazy.
So
Yeah, like Clubhouse has honestly helped me. I don't know how I got a club so quickly because I applied or like filled out that application thing for a club, and a few days later I got it. And a lot of people are struggling to get a club right now. And there, you have to fill out, you have to host rooms, you have to do other stuff. And I have no clue because I didn't even enter a room yet at that point. Didn't enter a room. I didn't have I didn't host anything. My first time hosting was when I had the club and I started it. But I wanted those like 5:30 in the morning, just chats, just to like, I mean, I get up at 5 anyways, but before the Clubhouse thing, I was not getting up at 4:30, but I like to have my time before I share it with other people. So I get up super early at 4:30 now, and now it's natural and I love it.
that is crazy. So you didn't even do it. You didn't even follow any of the requirements. They just gave you a room. They're like, here's something. You got this.
I have no idea. I mean, I have a suspicion like a big, like a public figure follows me. But I don't know if that would be the reason why, because I was in one of the Clubhouse things and they say that influencers and public figures and people like that, like kind of have like rank above other people because they want people to come into like clubs to get into the rooms and all that stuff. So maybe that helped me, but I have no clue. I don't know.
Well, if that public figure has like some investment in the app or whatever, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it helps you out. That would make sense.
I have no idea.
So,
I have no idea. It's Logan Paul.
I'm chatting with you, Summer. How long have you been on Clubhouse?
January 5th.
Oh, so you came in right after me. I think I came in on the 3rd. So, so we've been on the app for almost a month now. What are your thoughts on Clubhouse being on it for a month?
Me?
Yeah.
I love it. Honest to God, though, like I'm a pretty outgoing person. I can get along with anybody face to face. But when it comes to video, like talking like this, I get so anxious. And then just talking like this, even though I could sit in my pajamas and talk in the morning, like it's still nerve-wracking because it's a whole new form of communication. So I realize how terrible I am at like navigating a conversation and keeping it going without using filler words like, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I love it. And it's just like so awkward. So I like hosting and bringing people on because I can learn how to communicate a lot better than what I've been behind a computer typing. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Oh, I just realized that I need to. I didn't have somebody in my group chat. I thought that was in there. Okay, I need to fix that. That's fixed. But yeah, I love the platform. It's almost like that. It was made for me. I just go around and just buzz around in different rooms, chatting people. And
You're so good at it.
It's interesting to me because people are talking about how they're afraid of talking in the app or coming on stage. And I'm just like, maybe it's different for me because I'm a creator and I'm used to talking into a camera and things like that. So talking in a room full of people is not a really big deal. So I kind of find it fascinating when people highlight how they're afraid to like get on stage and talk. But I think it's different for everybody. So interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
So Michelle, when are we going to see some more Michelle on Clubhouse? I mean, are you just staying away for good, or are you coming back, or when are we going to see you on the platform?
No, I sneak in and out. But yes, I need to. I'm actually leaving to Chicago. I'm flying out hopefully Sunday. Apparently, you guys are getting like a huge winter advisory like this weekend. So hopefully my flight doesn't get delayed.
Again, yep.
Yeah. So if it does, then that'd be a perfect time to hop on some rooms at the airport.
Where are you right now?
Currently, I'm in Dallas.
Gotcha.
So
shout out to Zach for the super chat. Cheer to Summer's daily affirmation room is legit.
Zach comes on often as well. Thank you, Zach, for coming on.
I'm gonna start coming on these daily affirmation rooms. I love an affirmation.
They're amazing.
It's awesome to see it grow.
Oh, she's back. We got to bring in the badass, the queen of InfoSec herself. We got to bring in Snub. What's up, Snub?
Hi, how's it going?
Hey.
Hi.
How you been?
It's nice to meet everybody. Hello.
Viper, thank you so much for having me on again. It's super awesome to be back. Sorry I'm a little late.
No, it's funny because I had sent a group chat earlier, but for whatever reason, it said that I couldn't add you to the group chat, and I forgot you weren't in there. So I'm like, oh shit! I mean, you can send it on me.
Way to go! Fired.
So
I'm just kidding. I would never fire you, Viper.
It's all good. It's all good. I get it from all sides. As content creator, we always get it. But Shannon, you have an iPhone, right? Didn't you buy an iPhone recently?
Yeah, there's like 3 phones in front of me right now. Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you been invited to Clubhouse yet, Shannon?
Yes, and I've been Viper. We were both speakers in one of those Clubhouse rooms at one point.
Now you can fire him.
I got canceled. I canceled myself. Wow. That's right.
So to your credit, I was only in there for a very short amount of time because I had to run.
So how long have you been on the platform, Shannon? How long have you been on Clubhouse?
Not very long, only a couple of weeks. I think you and El Jefe had invited me. So or maybe it was El Jefe and John. I don't remember. But yeah, so it's only been a couple of weeks. So I'm still kind of learning the groove, but I've been invited to be a speaker in a couple of rooms. And luckily I know how to mute myself.
Thank you. So in your couple of weeks of being on the platform, what are your thoughts about it so far?
It's pretty interesting. I definitely have to allot specific time to Clubhouse, or else I see that it's kind of a time suck, and it can definitely disable me from getting a lot of my productive work done and being efficient with my job. So I definitely have to like schedule time to be in there, or else it's just like I could sit in there for hours and be like, this is so interesting. And that's not going to be very good for my work. So yeah.
Yeah, Clubhouses must be like for all the companies that have people working remotely. Now that Clubhouse is up, they're just the worst thing ever.
Yes, it must be terrible for everyone. Yeah, I'm my own boss. Like I run my own YouTube channel, so I definitely have to be like, okay, as soon as it hits 5 o'clock, I'm going to just leave quietly out of Clubhouse.
Are you good at it, or do you end up still getting sucked in?
It kind of helps that like my husband works from home as well as myself. So I can tell him like, let me know when you start cooking dinner, because that's when I will turn off Clubhouse. So I kind of have that outside like person telling me, hey,
you have like a Clubhouse bouncer.
Yes, I have a bouncer that's going to kick me out.
Nice. That is funny.
That's what we need.
I wonder how Clubhouse would be if we weren't in a pandemic right now. Because you know how many people wouldn't be able to talk during the day because they'd be in their jobs and around other people, and they wouldn't be able to. I wonder how it would be.
Also, I bet it wouldn't be as popular if it was also video, like forced video, because none of us would want to get on camera in the middle of the night or something. As soon as my makeup's off and I'm in my PJs, I'm like, I'm done recording for the day.
Yeah, I think that's part of the allure of the app, though. You don't have to get all dolled up or look good to be on camera because audio, and you can consume it passively or actively. You don't have to be in the app to use it. You can even put it in the background and do other things on your phone while you're listening to it. So there's a certain type of magic about the platform, and like you guys were or you ladies were alluding to, it's coming at the perfect time during a pandemic where we all can't travel or we can't be in proximity to each other anyway. So now you got the platform that can bring all of us together in one place, in one room. And it's a relatively low barrier of entry to like get in or like get ready to use it. You don't even have to like get dressed or anything. It's no video, it's just all audio. So just the perfect amalgamation of different things that make Clubhouse the thing right now. But I am curious, like you were saying, Shannon, if there wasn't a pandemic or when we get past the pandemic, will the platform be as popular as it is now? And I don't know. It's interesting.
I wonder, like, for YouTubers, I have a YouTube, but I'm not like, I would not consider myself a YouTuber. Not yet, at least. So Clubhouse is cool because it gets you interacting with people in a different way. I've never been on something like this before where there's us talking, but then there's people too chatting. So I'm just seeing that. I'm like, that's so cool.
Isn't it cool?
The observing ego.
It's crazy. But what would you guys ever take Clubhouse? So like if it became a native social platform eventually, because audio is like the thing now, When you guys do YouTube lives or whatever, and you see people chatting, would you put those same people in a Clubhouse room and they could like come up and speak too? Because I know that there's a rule that you cannot record on Clubhouse, but they say like if you're not recording, but you're like, let's say talking and things like this is happening or something, you have to like actively say, hey, we're in a Clubhouse talk. There's this going on live as well. And you have to like let your audience know. But would you guys do that? Like use both at the same time?
I don't know if I would, but I know people have done it. And usually in those rooms, they have to have it, like you said in the title.
Really? I wonder how that would work. Cause there's like so many, there's video and talking and like texting and stuff at the same time.
Yeah. I don't think I would, mainly because I like to kind of know where my audience is, because like, especially if you're doing like a live stream, it's nice to have just like one specific place to look at for questions and answers and stuff like that. And I feel like adding in Clubhouse along with that as another place for people to speak with you or do like Q&As, that might get a bit confusing.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of like Twitch streamers too, how they're like doing like this and they're playing or whatever, but then like talking while they're playing. And if people on Clubhouse could like listen or join the conversation that way with their voice. But that also can get really scary because you don't know what those people are saying if you invite them up to speak.
That's a huge, huge issue as well, because you might get some trolls that might end up demonetizing your live feed if that's something that matters to you.
Right.
And I guess that's the advantage. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you that's where you'd have to have like that hostess role for it. That's the only way you'd be able to manage it.
For sure.
Sorry, Michelle.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think that's what I like about Clubhouse is you get to see who nominated that person and how it kind of groups the people of like, hey, you follow the same group of people, and that kind of helps me like, oh, okay, I trust this person's, what do you call it? Like, I trust if that person follows
judgment.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than like just complete randos, that might be a little bit sketchy.
For sure.
Yo, 504, thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate you. So thank you for that. So I got a question for all of you all, because I've seen some things and heard some rumblings about how some of the ladies on the platform feel like they don't get a chance to get up on stage and talk. Have any of you all felt that way?
I mean, I clearly that's a no for me. But I will say that I have heard when I do the ladies' night chats that that's a very common thing that women say when they come up on stage.
Summer, I thought I'd look on you. Summer.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have a story. I got up super early and oh my gosh, it was so awkward. It was one of those millionaire rooms or whatever, but I saw some like big names in there. So I clicked on it, and I don't like those rooms because it's just a whole bunch of people just wanting to spew information and like whatever. But it was so awkward because there was a guy moderator controlling this whole thing, thousands of people in the chat. And this woman finally gets called, and she's like, a super successful woman. She's like, just to let you know, we went through 11 men before a woman could chat or could speak. And she's like, just letting him know. She was assertive, wasn't rude about it, just saying like, just letting you know, like, you're the moderator, you should control this. There's been 11 men. And then another woman, or the moderator goes, he said something about ladies night. He was like, so we should just like make it ladies time then or whatever. And la, la, la. And then it's ladies night, and like kind of making a joke about it. And then another lady chimed in. It was so awkward. And she's like, no, that's not what she's talking about. It should be balanced. And because if it's just all women speaking, then there are bros who only take advice from men when it comes to millionaires, and they will leave this chat, unfortunately. So we just need to have the balanced time. And it was pretty awkward. And then another lady went in and she was trying to talk, and then a man, like so many men just came in to try to talk, and she's like, and look, there are still men trying to talk over females. And it was so awkward. I left the chat, but like, that's something to be heard. I'm sure a lot of people didn't mean to do that because there's a lot of bodies trying to like speak at the same time, but just being aware that like women don't speak over men often.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't. They naturally don't speak over men. Men have a very assertive, strong voice. So women are more like Okay.
And women don't raise their hands as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, women don't like, I have something to say, right? Because like, I mean, so if I'm like moderating a room and I've got whatever, however many people have their hands up, I literally have like a little random notepad beside me. And as people put up their hand, I write down their name.
Exactly.
So it's like an order of raised
That's
hand.
smart.
Right?
That's a really good idea for a moderator to do.
I mean, isn't that just the way it should be done? Isn't that how everybody does it? Okay.
I mean, it should be, but not everybody has ever moderated a panel before, and they just start a room in Clubhouse and they don't know what to do. Like if you've gone to a convention and you've been on a stage as a panel, you know from the audience's perspective, as well as being one of the hosts or one of the people speaking, you know when you're on a good panel or you're not, because everybody's going to get a fair and equal opportunity to be able to speak. But if you're on a panel where like one person is getting this very, very powerful time to speak, where most of it is cordoned off to them, you can definitely notice it from an audience as well as being one of the people on stage. So it can be very awkward even in like a real life convention space. So when you're in Clubhouse and you're just like listening in and you don't have anybody in an audience that you can kind of like banter with, like you're just silently sitting there, it's like, okay, we've heard from this person for 5 minutes.
No, yeah, that person's awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
We all know that person.
Yeah, we all know that person. We all have one of those people. Yeah, I do it by order of raised hand, and that's like I don't even know what inspired me to do YouTube Ladies Night on Clubhouse, and I didn't even know what to expect from it. But then when we started it, what started happening was all the women in the crowd being like, "I love this because I feel like it's a safe space for me as a female creator to speak." And I was like, I thought I was just doing something fun and silly, like totally being silly and random, named it Ladies Night for no reason, only because the women I had invited happened to all be women. And as it turns out, it ended up being kind of an empowering space for female creators who, like, we don't have a female creator. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm kind of disappointed that this is actually a thing that's happening on this platform where the women feel like they're not being brought up. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I can't believe we're still dealing with this idiocy in 2020 where women, like men will essentially try to hold women down for whatever reason. It's just
yeah. And because I see in my real life, I own a heavy equipment company. So I personally own like 7 excavators and like heavy ass trucks and like not what you'd expect. So I'm pretty used to being the only girl in a room full of like real, like, you know, those men. Like I'm pretty used to them being like, well, who are you? Like, go be the laborer. And then one of the guys who works for me is like, actually, she owns the excavator. So we're going to do what she says. Wow. So I think maybe I don't have that same, I don't know.
BA. That's awesome. Yeah. I have similar experiences when I go to tech conventions, or my background is in information security and privacy online. So I work with hackers, networking, IT consultants, stuff like that. And every single time I go to a con, there's at least one time when somebody will just be like, "What booth are you working at?" And I'm just like, bro, no.
Can I have a sample that you're handing out? Yeah. And you're like, no.
Like, do you want a pen? Because I know the people in the vendor room. I could get you a pen, but you have to come with me so that I can, like, you know, network and stuff and take advantage of the moment. But I ain't working at that booth. I'm actually a speaker. Come see my talk at 3 p.m.
And it's not on Clubhouse.
And it's not on Clubhouse. BTW, it's a keynote. So you're welcome.
Oh, wait, how many zeros do you have in your bio? Because that's what's important on Clubhouse.
Oh, dear. Oh, God.
How many what? How many zeros?
How many zeros? I'm deleting all of that from mine. I'm just going to be like, I'm happy and do what I want every day. Flex.
Oh, are you talking about like subscriber numbers? I don't think I put mine in there. Oops. Yeah. Am I supposed to? Is that the thing?
A lot of people do. I don't know why. A lot of people do though. I think they want.
I don't. My content speaks for itself. Thank you very much.
I don't either. I don't. I mean, my number's not that big, but even if it wasn't big, I wouldn't even put it in there anyway. Like, I don't want you to talk to me because I have a big number. Talk to me because you like my band. No, I don't know.
There's way too many people in the world who look at the public number that you have on your YouTube channel, Instagram, wherever it might be, and they will gloss over if that number is less than what they want to experience in their life. And that's really unfortunate and very sad. So I don't put my numbers I put it in my media kit for sponsors, but I don't put it in profiles like ever.
And that's another thing that brings us to another talking point. I think a lot of people are using or trying to use the platform for all the wrong reasons. They're trying to self-promote, they're trying to pitch, they're trying to sell you something. And it's just like, no, this is not how you use the platform. If you naturally network with people, you will get a lot better results than trying to like pitch yourself. And y'all know how I feel about this. The worst are the ones that get on stage and they pitch you their whole life story like they're on ESPN 30 for 30, and it drives me crazy. Like, can you put that in 60 seconds or less, please?
So my friend taught me once, if you can't sell it on an elevator, then you don't need to be selling it. Like if you can't, elevator pitch. If you can't put it down to like 30 to 60 seconds, then you shouldn't be selling that thing because you don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boom.
Hey, Snubs, you're the lady Mr. Robots.
So I did not read that, but I have friends that worked on that show. It's very, very real. Yes. In fact, the main consultant that worked on Mr. Robot had spoken to me at DEF CON, which is a hacker convention that happens in Vegas every year. And they had asked me for recommendations on what kind of things they could show on the show. And since I work on a YouTube channel called Hack 5, we make physical like testing devices for networking, and they used a couple of those different products on the show because we got that chance to network. So Mr. Robot is legit. Like they actually used real life hacker devices on that show, and they used consultants that are actually working in the IT industry. It was so cool.
I'm a little bit insecure talking to you, actually. I'm like starting to worry about how hackable I am.
Don't be, I'm a good guy.
Be good people. No, we
just need to be on her good side.
You look really pretty today.
I did my hair.
We got another lady that I gotta bring in. We got to bring in one of the baddest women on planet Earth, Mrs. I will shut your ish down. Shelly Saves the day. Hey, Shelly, how you doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hello.
I love Shelly, man. Shelly will shut anybody down. Woo!
Mm-hmm. Shelly is my hero.
Shelly is everybody's hero.
Wow.
Hey, did you see my picture I sent you, Shelly?
No. I just got off work. So
you're the Google search for Clubhouse. If somebody's Googling Clubhouse app on Google, your video comes up. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Right there. Shelly, yeah. So it is actually Shelly's fault. Shelly's the one who brought me on the platform. So Shelly created a whole ripple effect, man.
I did, man. My mistake. My bad. That's fine. Yeah, I had made a video about. Never mind, it's on Google. But I was going to say, sometimes I think people are very funny about Clubhouse invites because, your name is and your photo is literally attached to them forever. And so, maybe not to take it too personal. If someone's like, you're not even in my phone book, we're not cool yet. We're going to chill for a minute on that invite. Right. So
I had no idea about it when I got invited. I was just like, thanks. I had no idea. Like, I didn't know what to expect when I got in there.
Oh, that's funny. Shelly, how long have you been on Clubhouse?
Not that long. I mean, it was just probably a few days before you.
So
not long at all.
So you've been on the platform for about a month now. So what are your thoughts on the platform over about a month in?
It's not. I mean, it's all right. It's a major time suck, and you really got to be able to dedicate a certain amount of time to it because otherwise, it's just a big giant cesspool of time waste. And I'm like, instead of wearing a badge of honor, being like, oh my God, I've been here for 12 hours. I'm so amazing. I'm like, Susie, would be better if you actually just did 2 hours of Clubhouse, like you would listen to a podcast and then did 10 hours of content that lives forever on YouTube. Think about it.
You know why I love Shelly? Because she is no nonsense, man. She will tell her exactly how it is. I love Shelly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those things. It's kind of like any platform because everybody kind of gets discouraged that like Clubhouse is going to get saturated with a ton of clubs and all this information and all this stuff. But that's how YouTube is. That's how every platform is. But I was thinking about this the other day. And I wonder how many people are just on Clubhouse just to get that social aspect of it rather than the learning part, actually taking that knowledge and putting it into action.
Execute.
Yeah.
Go
just
like
watching videos, getting inspired, learning all this stuff, or following those people, but not doing anything. You're like addicted to the inspo.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's all this information, but no execution. So I was telling someone the other day on a live stream that I was sorry to take over and just start bitching, but it was just like, I was on a panel with Sean Cannell, and I was like, Sean's great. But the thing is, he has a team now of 13 people and is scaling from multiple millions into whatever it is, into how to do it more effectively with more than just himself being on screen. That is not the same season of my life that I'm at. I am not at the same season also as someone who has never made a YouTube video, period. So it's just like the person who's never made a YouTube video, period. Why are you sitting in here and learning about Asana and Trello boards and how to upscale your HR hiring processes when you haven't even published a video yet? I'm like, no, you're at marathon mile 26, but you forgot all the rest of them that came before. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, why are you listening to that? Because also when you're ready in that season of your life, there's going to be new information that you can like watch. Or if I really wanted to find out that answer, I would search that question on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's just like, why? Why are you sitting in here just for like shits and giggles, just to then come up on stage and be like, I didn't really have a question. I just can't believe I finally get to be up here with Gary Vee. I'm like, get back to the audience. Stop wasting our time.
I waste time.
Oh man. Like why are you on stage if you don't have a question?
You raised your hand. You had a question. Did you not? No, I didn't know. It was shown display like that you're just a jackass. Got it. Didn't need a 5-minute intro to like know that. No. Like, yeah.
I love you, Shelly.
And I heart you like a friend.
I heart you too.
And actually, if you guys haven't seen it, Snubs and I, we were in a collab together. I was very excited to be I'm on her channel. So yeah, you can go check that out.
It's true.
I'm gonna check it.
Yeah. That was a good collab. In fact, one of those predictions just kind of came true. I did a 2021 tech predictions video collab, and I invited on a bunch of people, including Viper and Shelly. And one person said they are hoping that sometime this year or somewhere down the future, we could just walk into our homes and our devices would charge wirelessly. And just, I believe it was today or yesterday, a company tweeted out that they are currently working on this kind of technology where you can just be in your household and your devices would charge over the air. You wouldn't have to stick them on a wireless charger. You could have them in your pocket. Amazing.
That is amazing. I know that there were so many like, talking about foldables and stuff. And I was reading through the comments as I usually do to listen to people and bitch about whatever, and someone was like, I cannot believe how many people didn't even talk about like security and privacy and like all this stuff.
That's because they're from my Hack 5 channel.
And I was just like, hey, I think I actually said something about security and privacy. So maybe check your ears because there's something wrong with them because I said it. So
people like to hear what they want to hear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man. Crazy.
What's gonna be my excuse for always having like a dead phone and a dead computer now?
Your power went out.
My power went out. Michelle.
There you go.
Make up some type of lie about it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Shelly, right before you got here, we were talking about some of the women on Clubhouse feeling like they don't get called up the stage too often because I guess the men won't call them on stage. Have you experienced any of this while you've been on the platform?
Yes.
Ooh. Like,
Next week when we do the giveaway, I'm gonna be like the 4th time Shelly gives a 1-word answer. Whoever's on stage.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's this running joke that I think Jessica Stansberry, and you guys all know, like, hey girl, hey, can't like get through like a hello without 30 seconds later. I mean, I love her to death, but it's just like she tried to say that she gave a Shelly answer to something. I'm like, girl, you could never give a Shelly answer.
I was like, we need a Shelly answer on this question.
Yeah, which is literally unmute your mic. No. Mute your mic. They go on for 5 minutes. Can you do this? no, and turn it off, and that's it. And like, we're done here. Next caller, like. But like Jessica was just like, I'm trying to do Shelly answer, and I'm like, girl, never.
No.
And she knows, she was in the room, so I'm not just dunking on her without her knowing that I would say this, and she's laughing because it's very much true. She could never pull a Shelly.
I don't think anybody could though. Like the way you do it, you're just like unmute, no, and then mute. But nobody else could get away.
Nothing else
that.
needs to be said. That's the thing. Is like I can wax poetic for the next 30 seconds about why we need to come back to the answer being no, but I'm just efficient and I'm saying the answer is no.
It's entertaining though. I love it.
I'm glad I can entertain you.
Straight into the point.
Yeah.
So
wait, I interrupted though. Viper, sorry.
No, you're good. So speaking of women not getting adequate stage time on Clubhouse and things like that, Liz, I have a question for you because you did talk about how you host the YouTube Ladies Night while you host that room, some of the ladies had brought up the point about not being able to have I can't talk. Some of the ladies brought up the point about not being able to have stage time in the other room because, the men won't call them up on stage and something like that. So my question to you, Liz, is I like to come into those lady night rooms just to show support. Is it weird like camp out in those rooms? Is it weird? I don't know.
What do you think? Okay, so I struggle with this as a moderator because here's the thing. It's definitely like I think it's open. The only reason why it's even YouTube's Ladies Night is because I reached out to Heather and Jessica first. And I was like, hey, I want to, do a YouTube room. Would you guys like to come in? And they were like, sure. And so I was like, well, it's going to be Jessica and Heather. I am a nobody. I am literally just the hostess. I have no claim to any value. But I was like, well, it's Heather and Jessica speaking. So I'm going to make it ladies' night. Not like only ladies could come. It was just females speaking. So I thought that was how I kind of, I don't know, came up with that thing, I guess. And then it just kind of the first one. What do you think, Shelly? Because you were there for the first one, and we heard a lot from women saying that they needed a space. I felt like.
Well, it's true because most of the time if a woman, let's just say, not to get too free into the weeds here, but most of the time when you go into any of those, it's 10,000 sausages and a few girls. And so when you finally get pulled up out of the crowd, there's like this expectation that you are either going to be extremely stupid with your question and they're all just kind of guffaw at you, or it's just almost understood that whatever your question is was something that really didn't need to be asked because they want to get to the real questions. And that is the environment that is almost like pushed out upon. And you can see it when some of the moderators in the rooms make you feel almost stupid for answering the question. So it's no surprise when the girls start stammering and stumbling over their own words because they're not confident yet in themselves to be able to present to. Let's just insert a name here, Daryl Eves, or I'm not saying he did this. I'm saying that is a big guru person that would call people up on stage and then feeling like, oh my God, I got to get this question right. Because not only that, but like, I don't want to look stupid in front of all of these dudes. And then inevitably you end up saying something where you don't even get to finish your question because immediately some mansplainer is going to come in and be like, what I think she's trying to say is it's like, excuse me, if I wanted to ask you what I thought I was trying to say, I would have asked you. But first, let me ask my question. And so it's just one of those things that not only do you not get called on, but then almost your questions are almost looked down upon as if they're not good enough and then qualified. And then there's this unspoken rule that no matter what girl is going to ask a question, the question isn't going to be any good.
Yeah. So I think that's why this space works. But I love having I want all I think it speaks so much. I don't know, Shelly, you tell me what you think, but I think it says so much for the men who will hang out for 2 hours, knowing that they're not going to get to probably be a speaker, knowing that they're probably not going to, I'm not opposed to answering questions from men. I just think that it says a lot about the men who hang out, knowing that they listen, right?
No,
but I don't know, Shelly, what do you think? Do we let men ask? Men don't ask questions. Men don't raise their hand.
They don't have to. They know everything.
No. I don't ask questions.
I'm sure they would tell us how to put in feminine products if we just gave them the microphone long enough.
Before I address this, Renee Richie, what's up, Renee?
That's writing the instructions on those boxes. So do not come for
solid point.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you. But no, I come into those lady night rooms just to show support. I don't want to be brought up on stage because that's not my place. That's you guys' platform to do what you want to do. I'm just there to show support and to let you all know that I support you. I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to act questions. I'm just there to show support. That's all. So
no, I think that's great. And I don't think it's, even if it was a ladies' night, like a room, I would never hesitate to bring up a guy on stage and be like, hey, not only, I think what is nice about it is supposed to be, even with me, the asshole on stage, it's supposed to be a nice, warm, welcoming, safe space for people to ask questions and not feel stupid for asking it, unless you're going to ask a stupid question. Right. So, and I just can't help myself, because I guess that's good in my ways for being on Clubhouse, because if you saw me in real life, you'd see my face just kind of glaze over and be like, well, that was stupid. But at least if it's like voice only, I can be like, excellent question. But I'm just saying that, like, I think it's really awesome to have that safe space for anyone to be able to answer, because sometimes there's also, like, you've seen the uncomfortable conversations with, right, like a person of color or something like that. Right. Sometimes there can be then a conversation or a question that a man would like to ask, and maybe would be like a little afraid to ask, and that could also be a safe space to also do that, or to just be like, hey, I've got a 95% sausage rate on my viewers. What would I do to be able to appeal to more like ladies, and not in a misogynistic weird way? What is there something about my channel that you're seeing that just makes it absolutely unenticing or uninviting? Is that something I can work on? And that's an open communication line. I don't mind having any of those conversations at all. So I think it's great when they show up. I think it's great if they want to sit there and be quiet and just listen or clap, or if they want to ask questions. I'm all there for it.
I think it's really important for people to understand, like, no matter who you are, that no question is going to be necessarily a stupid question, because if you are the brave soul who raises your hand and asks that question, there is somebody else who was not brave enough to ask that very same question. They didn't have the confidence to be able to put that forward, because they also felt like it was a stupid question.
There are some stupid
you went out there and said it.
And I only say that because I've been in so many rooms. It's like, how do I grow? Have you made any videos yet? No.
Oh man.
Well, I speak from experience in information security, not necessarily YouTube, where you have so many people that go online and they try to find the answer to something, and then people just tell them RTFM, read the manual, and then you never find the answer to your question. So everybody starts somewhere. So I always try to give people like a welcome place where they can ask those questions and not feel like they're going to be embarrassed by it.
I'm glad you're that way, because like I was talking about earlier, there's a lot of people that come on Clubhouse, men and women both, that aren't necessarily comfortable talking in front of a group of people, even though it's audio only and you really can't see each other. They're still not comfortable getting in front of a group of people. So I feel like
you can hear it.
Yeah. So at that point, I feel like, and this is true of Clubhouse as a whole. Clubhouse is a largely moderator-driven platform. The platform is only good as the moderators that run the room. So at that point, I feel like it's up to the moderators to try to like make it a more comfortable atmosphere to encourage people to come up and ask questions, like you guys were talking about earlier, not making people feel stupid for asking whatever question it is, because in actuality, there's really no such thing as a dumb question. We all know that, but I mean, obviously some of us feel differently about that, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah.
But that's because you guys are much nicer people than I am.
Yeah, but you know what? When you come on, you hit those one-word answers at like the perfect time in the perfect way, and it's awesome.
It has to be balanced, because I can't just go around making everyone cry.
Yo, shout out to
that was being serious.
Shout out to Check the Tech with a $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Although this is not a podcast, it's just a conversation between me and the lady tonight. See, this is another thing, another thing I have an issue with. Especially in the tech space, there aren't many women like tech creators. At least I can't find them. So I try to have these ladies nights to bring them out and chat. Because like when I ask them and they don't reply, so I have to go out and find them and things. It's weird. But I try to have these nights every once in a while to bring the ladies up here and have a chat. And luckily, I have some awesome lady friends that are willing to join me.
Michelle's back. We missed you.
Uh-oh. There she is.
Hey. Yeah, the Wi-Fi just crapped out on me.
Oh, no.
Am I frozen again?
No, you're back.
Nope,
No,
you're
you're
okay.
good.
You're okay.
You are good.
Welcome back.
We missed you so much. We all paused and waited for you. We were like, we cannot go on until.
Yeah.
So is
I
this
was going to go with you. I thought you went to the bathroom, and I'm like, she went alone.
We are potty partners.
Yes. now we're dropping girl jokes.
Yeah.
If I look like I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm talking to potential contractors to build out my studio basement.
Ooh.
Man, that's what's up.
So exciting.
Let me know if
So
you need construction.
expensive.
Let me know if they're trying to run something by you. I've written a few bids in my day.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Okay. Thanks,
Yeah, man,
girl.
that's what I do. I write Canadian national defense contracts. Damn it.
Ooh, ASD. What's up?
And you know what? I went to the base, ladies. I went to the base, and there was no men shirtless playing volleyball.
Wait, which base?
Does it matter? We're not going there.
I used to live on bases.
If there aren't a whole bunch of volleyball playing Mavericks and Icemen, then we're not going. Forget
I
it.
know. It was my one opportunity to be like a sleazy construction worker, right?
Did you play the Top Gun theme and some Kenny Loggins first because it attracts them? Like, Moth do.
Oh, the
Well,
vibe,
maybe it was,
the vibe that I'm getting here, Liz, that you were expecting that or you wanted that, but you didn't get that. Is that what I'm picking up?
well, I was stoked because it was my opportunity to be the dirty construction worker, right? Because we have like a reputation, right? And like the men get to be like, look at the yummy mummy, like pushing the stroller, right? And I was like, this is my chance to be on the crew, objectifying good-looking men in uniform.
Oh, I thought you were looking.
Oh, God.
You do you. Yes.
So you know what you got to do, Liz? You got to let them know that you're coming next time so they can be prepared.
Mhm.
I should.
I expect a parade. I expect this to be Bachelor. And give a first impression rose.
Army edition. No, I feel bad now. I love the Canadian Armed Forces. Thank you for everything you do. I feel bad all of a sudden.
So we got Anthony Q down here. He is loving your hair, Shannon. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, man?
Anthony, he's one of my BFFs in RL. RL being real life.
Nice.
Yes, we're
on
great
Twitter
friends.
because he was having some question about Clubhouse, and I'm like, it's not that bad. But funny. Oh, man.
Yeah, Anthony, and he does tons of incredible video and photography of all sorts of like nature scenes, and he does some really, really amazing work. So if you don't follow him already, you definitely should. In fact, go to his YouTube channel and check out his lava footage from Hawaii. It's insane. Insane. Like, he's got new drone footage of like fall foliage out here in Colorado. Oh my gosh, so much good stuff.
That is what's up. Hey, Anthony, when this live stream is over, I will definitely go back and link them all. So no worries there, buddy. I will take care of that for sure. For sure. So what is going on you all 2021? It's been a hell of a year so far. We're only a month in, man. It seems crazy.
Building a studio.
Building a studio.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a big
curious,
investment.
Yeah.
Oh, you earned it though. You handled that year, so you got to that point. So congrats.
I've been waiting years to do this, and I literally bought a house so that I could do this. So I'm so excited. I moved cross country so I could do this. Like it's something that has been a dream goal of mine for a long time, and it's finally happening. You guys, I'm so excited.
No doubt.
Snaps for snubs. Snaps.
Yes.
Thank you.
Listen, man, Anthony, I surround myself with all types of people, men and women, and I get flack for it sometimes from the men because they like, oh my God, you're being such a simp, blah, blah. No, you idiot. What in the whoa? What is happening here?
Michelle.
Okay.
We have
Where?
2 Michelles.
Oh, that's weird.
So, that was
Oh my God, one of them's a Cylon.
That was weird.
Wait.
Shannon, did you
Shannon's
hack my
hacking you.
computer? I knew it.
Not today.
but getting back to what Anthony said, like I was saying earlier, that's kind of the problem. Like in the tech space, I mean, I know there are women tech creators out there, but for whatever reason, there's not much collabing between men and women. So I make it my business to go out and find women that will come on here and chat with me, and that's what we got tonight. Luckily, every few months, I probably should do this much more frequently, but every few months I try to get together ladies' night like I got going on tonight, just to like get some of the women out here to talk to me, because there's a bunch of amazing women out there, and for whatever reason, there's not much collaboration between the men and the women. So I'm here to change all of that. So I'm just lucky I have awesome female friends that will collab.
Yeah, air high fives. Internet high fives.
Damn, do it.
Although I'm not tech.
That's okay.
Yeah, you are.
fine.
You're a digital artist drawing and Procreate. That is tech.
Digital artist. Yes, Summer. We're actually we're claiming you, Summer. We are claiming you.
We claim you as one of us. One of us.
Join.
I'm
And initiation starts next week.
So I don't know how I go about the question, but Liz, I have a question for you. So you own your own company, which I didn't know until like a few days ago. And I think you were just talking about how you own your own company, and when you go into these sites and things like that, there's not a lot of women.
No. I'm not on site very often. Like, I don't want to like lie and say that I'm like running big machines. Like, I can run big machines really fucking badly. But I'm on site sometimes. I'm usually in the office.
You had your opportunity to literally do a Shelly answer. I was like, no.
No.
Mic drop.
She almost
What is
had
it?
No, you did, and then you explained further, and I was like, oh, you were so close. So close.
I stay awake at night and I'm like mute. No, mute. I do. No.
I'm practicing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna nail this one.
No, there's no women. There's never women in site.
Oh my god.
But we're like in the heavy space. Like,
Okay.
it's different. It's not like probably when you start to like get like a building up, there's women like doing things. I don't know.
Decorating them.
I don't know. We are literally like big ass machines.
So I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to ask it about tech, but it's probably more of a generally directed question. And I think I've talked to all of you about this at one point or another, except for Summer. So Summer, I'll just put this your way. How do we get more women into technology?
Well, let me tell you, no.
You need some work. I applaud you for trying.
Oh my lord! I will accept that. I'm good with that.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I like that. I'm so proud of that.
Well, for somebody who isn't in tech, but you guys say that I am because I use like the iPad Pro. I've got the M1. I got this blue speaker. The blue podcast speaker, whatever. I think to get more people in tech, you kind of have to define what tech means, because I don't know when I think of tech, and there's a lot of the tech community that follows me. I think of like the phones and the things that are dropping like now, because I see so many videos dropping when they're new. But I think to get more women in is to kind of like define it better, because it's a broad thing.
Okay, so let me rephrase this differently then. And it's gonna be weird. I even feel weird acting it, but I'm gonna act it anyway. How do we get more women into more male-dominated fields? It's when they're interested in dating. Y'all are killing me right now. Y'all killing me. No.
You guys are not allowed to drop the Shelly response until I know you can do it responsibly, because this is not great, what I am seeing right now. So I can't trust you with this until I know you're not going to besmirch my name. You're going to go to some clubhouse room like, I'm going to pull a Shelly and say no. And I'll be like, what the?
People are going to be like,
This is hilarious.
I feel like you said that with like Liz's chipper, high-pitched voice too.
Yeah.
probably just it starts with the men, honestly, because like women are smart. Women are just as capable as men. But I think there's like this perception, and then also not getting the support from men. Like in Clubhouse specifically, if there are women trying to speak, there are plenty of men in there that can say, this woman is trying to speak. So like, I think there needs to be support on both sides. It can't just be like the women trying to get in. It's got to be like the men being like, hey, let's go. Come on, let's get in. Like you.
Having allies.
Yeah.
Having allies and kind of working together as a whole to get rid of that unconscious bias that society has about women. You know, we're automatically assumed that all you're going to like is hair and makeup. Listen, I can like hair and makeup, and I can also like to hack my Android phone. Like there's nothing keeping me away from that. In fact, I really enjoy it, because then I can make it do whatever the hell I want.
You know,
Exactly.
I don't actually have to put on makeup, and I can do
That's
a
right.
Spark AR of my best makeup look, and then just slap it on my face whenever I go into Instagram, be like, I look like this.
And we need more role models. But in order to get those role models into technology, like you have to have a welcoming environment for people that want to become role models. Because like if I'm out here doing InfoSec technology, security, privacy YouTube videos, and I'm not welcomed in the industry for InfoSec, then there's not going to be any kind of passion there because I'm going to feel like I'm not included. I'm not a part of this community as a whole. So the community really needs to be more accepting in order to get those role models so that younger kids, future generations are interested in these kind of environments.
And I think someone like
That's
you,
my take.
like you have to be this champion example, and like it would be exhausting after a while. You know, like, I don't speak for all of women.
People
I don't
always
speak
think like
for that.
Oh my God, it's so exhausting. Like anytime I say like, yeah, I use Windows 10, everybody's like, but you don't use Linux. And I'm like, I have Linux on a laptop. Big deal. Like you can't run Adobe Premiere Pro on Linux without like doing some fancy schmancy stuff, which I really don't want to deal with because drivers suck. So I'm going to run Windows 10 on my home computer so I can edit my videos efficiently. But people give you so much crap. They expect you to be perfection if you're going to be a role model. Yeah. And that's a part of the unconscious bias that's seen towards women. They hold us to a higher standard and we can't hit that standard.
No one can. And it's exhausting and it sucks. And I would say that you totally hit on it earlier when saying that we need to reframe the way that we teach young women, young ladies from the very beginning, and men. You know, we don't teach them about computer science when they're in 3rd grade. We just tell them that they should look pretty and have bows in their hair and, you know, like stay away from like hopscotch, and like when they flip upside down, they should make sure they wear shorts. Why? Because our shoulders are distracting to people and all of a sudden it's our fault for everything that happens later in life. But the problem really actually then comes, I know, when it's like, you don't talk about the fact that like, you know what we also really like? You're like, oh yeah, you can't live without your phone. And I'm like, yeah, but that's tech. Guess what? We can be part of that. Or like, oh, we like makeup. Guess what? We can make filters that actually do that. And that's computer science. Or, oh, you're just on Facebook all day. And I'm like, guess what that is? That's, you know, that's a whole bunch of data science or, you know, computer science and CSS and HTML and coding and algorithms and actually predictive behavior and machine learning and AI. That's all involved in this social media thing that you think that's all that we can do. You know, or like the fact that like, hey, oh, you can only like nail polish. Well, guess what else I can do? I can actually figure out what that hex code is and decide to paint my whole house that if I want to, and actually program something on a screen to look like that. You know what I mean? Because I happen to like pink or purple or whatever it is. So I think the problem is that like we're always told that like we have all these boxes that we can tick off, but no one wants to explain how those boxes equate to computer science or something else. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you are going to put me in this box, if I can only like pink and do these things, then I need someone on the other side to be like, you know what's really cool about that thing they just said you can do? This is what's really cool about it.
That reminds me, I need to donate to Black Girls Code because I sold a bunch of stickers as a response to a guy that told me I should have less pink in my studio. So I made a sticker that says no, but also F you.
I remember I told you should put that on, I think it was on a candle or on a sweatshirt or something. And someone was like, I'll buy it.
What?
Yeah, and they did. A guy emailed me and he was like, a guy emailed me and he was like, you should probably know this. I didn't want to put it in a comment, but you should have less pink in your videos because I think everybody that watches your shows is guys and guys don't like pink. So I screenshot it.
All the guys that were like, I like pink.
And I replied on Twitter and I was like, no, but also F you. And then one of my friends, Ray, he was like, you should put that on a sticker. And I was like, okay. And I'm also going to donate 20% of the proceeds to Black Girls Code. So screw you, sir. Yeah. And then I dyed my hair pink. So it worked in my favor.
It's a freaking color. That's so annoying.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
So stupid.
That's what's filling your mind. You know what's going on.
What's that, Liz?
Well, like Shannon and Shelly were saying, and I'm super curious for you, the other girls up here, because for me, clearly not in tech, guys. This is like my MacBook thing, and I don't even have headphones. But in construction, it's for sure. Like if you're a female heavy equipment operator or whatever in construction, you have to be like better than every man on the crew times like 4 to get half of the respect of the guy who's just started. Is it? And I know that from construction.
I mean,
is it like
even if, let's say, it's smartphones? Justine can do an entire half an hour video with multi-angle editing and unboxing and flips out her knife, which is pink, which is awesome, by the way, and then comes out and says one spec wrong. And it's nothing but a barrage of hate comments about how she doesn't know anything about tech and she should go back to her pink palace of whatever, iPhone loving, overreacting, whatever. And I'm like, screw you. There's so many people out there who enjoyed that video. I enjoyed that video. And do you think I care that she said one thing incorrectly? One thing out of a 13-minute video, and that's what you got your panties in a twist on. Like, some dude can go out there and be like, this thing goes underwater. And I'm like, guess what? No, it doesn't. But like, no one calls them out specifically. And it's just like, well, I took it in the ocean for 5 years and it didn't work. And you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't really work. Oh, my bad. Okay, I'll get you on the next one. Like, no one cares. But one speck wrong verbally, just on the screen, even maybe she didn't even say it. She's crucified for something that is just like ridiculously stupid. Like, that's not a fair standard. That's not the same at all.
Damn. This is like, it's a little bit eye-opening for me because I expect it, we expect it. I totally expect this crap on like, construction has a reputation, but man.
Yeah, this goes
That's
across
crazy.
all genres and professions. It's terrible stuff. Yo, shout out to Seven Scientists for the $7.
What happened?
11 cents. Double salute to Shannon for your support of Black Girl Code. You got my vote. What's up, man? Thank you. Oh, Roberto Blake is here. What's up, Roberto? They give me to listen to these dudes, and me and my homie from Cobra Kai don't. For real, Roberto, he must go around, man. Roberto's not
We will
messing
sweep the leg.
right.
We'll be limping everywhere. And we will know them by the hobble in their walk. But
I wouldn't want to be on
people.
Roberto's wrong side.
Roberto's a beat. Don't mess with that man. Don't mess with that dude. I don't know. This stuff just makes my head spin. That women go through all this garbage, and it's just not even like, it's just not even necessary. Like, there are women with like PhDs in mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, and it's annoying. But I got to bring in the lawyer, the tech lawyer, not the tech lawyer. But I got to bring the lawyer turned techie. We got to bring in Issa. Hi, Issa.
Hi, good morning. Hi, girls.
Good.
Hey, girl, hey.
Wait, I'm not a lawyer. I did go to law school and
did.
then left. And now we are here.
We all
That's
like your
something a
pink
lawyer
makeup.
would say.
I know it's early for you, so thank you, Issa, for hopping in.
It is. It's okay. I always enjoy these chats. It's daytime, as you can see.
Issa, I'm so excited that you're here. This is the first time that we've ever been on a stream together.
I know, and I just really want to say, and I've been wanting to say this, I love your hair.
I
it.
love yours too.
Awesome. Thank you.
So,
I
Issa,
love your
we
pink
talk about
hair.
a subject that kind of near and probably not so dear to your heart. We were talking about how women, especially women in tech, don't have the respect that men of tech do. I mean, I've seen your comment section, Issa. We know what you go through. So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm putting my phone on airplane to make sure I don't ruin the stream. It's very interesting. I read this very insightful article about how in a group, like any group, right? For one woman to be listened to, there needs to be at least 2 women or 3 women in the group, versus if the whole group is comprised of women and there's 1 male. Like, how they study the dynamics into how people listen, and they found that by far, if there's 1 woman in the group, she will most likely be interrupted or shut down. And even if she says something and a man mimics what she says, the group will be more likely receptive to what the male person said versus the woman. And they chucked it to the fact that culturally, men have been more conditioned to just say what they feel and leave it, versus women who feel like, one, they need to apologize when they interrupt, or they need to soften what they're trying to say. It's a lose-lose situation, and I'm sure the women here know this. Like, if you're assertive, you are accused of being too much. If you're very passive, you're accused of not speaking up. So it's very interesting, and that, I think, trickles down to a lot of the things we do. And I think for tech especially, and I'm pretty sure Shannon can agree with me on this, but for tech especially, where it is up until now, like, don't get me wrong, it's gotten better, but up until now, it's still seen as a very big male-dominated space. To have someone like Shannon come in and say, I know my stuff, but then that person saying that isn't ideally to them, to what they're used to, isn't what, like, for them it's a disconnect, right? Like you don't expect to see a pretty girl with pretty hair say, no, I know my stuff, I hack this, I know security and
Oh my
all that
god, you
stuff.
think I'm pretty?
Exactly.
Then everything else I have to say is irrelevant. Just
Right.
leave me.
It's frustrating,
It
but at
is.
the same time, it's also, I guess for me, it's also like, it's not just knowing your stuff. Like Shannon does that very well. Like I see her responses and I'm like, ha ha ha, what she said. But on the other hand, it's also validating that even if I'm not that type of techie, like I do a lot of what people would consider lifestyle, or I care a lot about stuff that hard hitting techies wouldn't think are important. But it's also recognizing that a woman can do as you do in the same space, like in the more, I'm gonna say quote unquote because I don't have a politically correct term for this, but like in the heavier tech aspects or in the lighter tech aspects, and both are okay. I think that's another thing. Like, it's not even we can, it's also why should we? You know? Okay, I just came in and started talking a lot. I apologize.
Don't apologize. I
Okay,
asked.
why are you apologizing?
Okay.
Why are you
Oh my God.
apologizing?
See, this is what I
Yeah,
love.
you're like, I said what I said, no stuttering.
But before you continue,
Thank you.
we do have one more lady that is in here. I got to bring in Miss Minecraft herself. Let's bring in Yesenia Nero. Hey, Yesenia, how you doing?
Hey,
Hi.
Hi, sorry, I was stuck at a meeting.
No worries.
Oh
I'm
no,
here.
I came in late because I still had work meetings as well. So
I appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm super curious of the ladies on stage, or even Viper, because I noticed I have a 14-year-old daughter who you guys might have saw earlier. I'm really happy to say that I feel like she's not getting that same sort of social conditioning that we all got. Is it the same for you? Like, what are you guys seeing of that younger generation of girls? Are they getting the message?
it's a weird time right now because most of them we're all at home. Right. You know, so they're also at home, and so they're not having a lot of the same interaction for the last year that they may have had otherwise. Right now, everyone has the same amount of FaceTime on a screen. So I think it's a little bit easier, I think, even for teachers to call on people, you know, because you don't have a whole bunch of people distracting and being like, it's literally just like this, squares on a screen. So it might be better for some people because they're not getting, let's say, bullied in the hallway or made fun of for whatever group they're joining or such. You know, there's a lot more freedom right now that's happening.
I feel like with just like listening to all this, I feel like part of the problem is that like we're in this room talking about these issues. And do you think there are men in rooms like this talking about these issues? So it's like we're spending all this time talking about what's not fair to us. But do you think there are men sitting in rooms talking about what's not fair to women to like make it better? So it's like the other part, that the part of the problem isn't in the conversation with us. Thank you so much for making this available for us. We need more of this for sure. But it's like we're all here talking, but a big part of the
Thank you, Viper.
I don't know if there are men having conversations, but there are men like me and Anthony who are listening to these conversations happening right now. So there are men listening,
which we love. Which we're so thank you for providing platforms like this for us.
Yeah.
And Anthony asked a good question. He said, "What can we better do to help support and lift up women? I always fear saying or doing the wrong thing unintentionally."
I think one big thing is also to let them speak, and this is a lesson I learned having done a talk with a bunch of awesome Filipino women as well. We were talking of intersectional feminism and how intersectionality is a very important qualifier in what the whole thing is. And, you know, we as men, you can always see or think that maybe this is what you'd want, or maybe this is what would be good for women. But the best thing really is to ask the woman in front of you and let her speak. And again, this is why chats like this are nice and very important, because Viper comes on and says, I'm not only going to support you, I'm going to lend you the platform and let you do the talking and let you tell us what you want, how you want it. And I think that's very important, because a lot of people can always assume. But the whole point of representation and being given the voice is that you're able to represent and talk. So I think that's one main thing. And
shout out to Roberto and Michael in the chat for their comments.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Roberto.
Oh, wow, there's a comment. I'm sorry, I'm just getting caught up. I was like, what are you talking about?
I would say that sometimes I think it's really, really important when you go to a conference and you see that assholes, it's about diversity and inclusion and it's an all-white male panel talking about it. Then you call them out and say, like, dude, WTF.
So,
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Okay? Or if you go to a social media conference and you see that 2 out of the 70 speakers are women or people of color, or pick whatever you'd like to say here, and that their slots are at 7:30 in the morning on a small side stage, not on any main stage unless it's a celebrity. Then you say, hey, Sausage Fest person, could we maybe not? Can we throw in something in the mix here every once in a while? Or if you notice in a boardroom that you're sitting in, if there's one woman in there, God bless her heart, most of the time that's me sitting in a room, so maybe you don't have to stick up for me, but other people absolutely will be like, hey, you know who we haven't heard from? Summer. I'd like to hear Summer's point of view. Or not even just like can we start with Summer? Or if someone interrupts Summer saying, hey, Steve, thank you, Summer was speaking. And that is the end of it. Like, not like, no, Summer is still speaking, so that she doesn't have to be the yeah, I guess I was done. Right? It's like, no, Summer is still speaking, you know? And if you hear something where it was like, Summer already made that point, and then someone reiterates Summer's point, don't all just be like, oh my God, Steve, you're amazing.
Yes.
Someone to recognize that, like, Steve, that was great. It was better the second time, you know? But the first time, the original time that I heard it was Summer. That was a great idea, Summer. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
it's funny.
Point after there's so many of those instances that happen where people either don't notice or they don't say something. And if you really want to help, make sure that we're just represented. We're not saying like you have to say that our idea is the best, but we're saying like if we are at a table, give us a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh no, I definitely agree with what Shelly and Issa said, because so often in times in meetings, especially if there's a lot of men in the room, so often they speak over us. And as I've been in that situation where I'm like, hey, I just like, and then they just continue talking over me. Or sometimes I have said an idea, and then just a few minutes later, they're like, oh, I thought of a great idea. Let's do this. And then everyone starts congratulating him. So the way you can help us is by, if you see it happen, as Shelly mentioned, it's just really going, oh, cool. Let's go back to what Yesenia was saying. Can you reiterate that? Or if you see us being really quiet because everyone else is speaking over us, kind of jumping in there to say, oh, we haven't heard from so-and-so in a while. Do you want to give feedback? So making sure that you give us, there's a pause to give us a moment to actually speak works wonders. And also if someone says something inappropriate, I'm speaking from my experience, it's like, I don't need men to go in and play the white knight and savior of like, no, you shouldn't do that. Another way to do it is maybe approach the person who was inappropriate or made a sexist comment or whatever it could be privately afterwards. So this way it doesn't, because what ends up happening is if you address those kind of situations in the meeting, it detracts from like what's actually happening in the meeting. And now all the attention is on us and like what's happening around us. And it just becomes really uncomfortable for everyone. So I think for those situations, it's best to kind of do it in private with the person, but at least speaking out and saying something like, hey, what you said in there wasn't really cool. You know, let's tone it down and let's change how we talk and stuff like that. Because unfortunately, we need allies and people to really go in the trenches with us. It's like I was talking to someone earlier today. It's like you're either with us or against us kind of mentality. Like you have to work really super hard with us and making sure that we have a voice, making sure you're helping stand up for any kind of misogyny or sexist comments. So that's all I really have to say to add to what the wonderful ladies already gave feedback on.
Yeah. I wonder, go Shannon, you had your hand up.
I did have my hand up. One thing that I learned to do, and this kind of remarks back to what Yesenia, is that how you pronounce your name, Yesenia?
Yesenia.
Yesenia, thank you. One thing that me and a previous coworker of mine started doing was asking somebody during talks or during like a meeting to start taking notes. And usually we would ask one of the guys to do it and be like, can you take notes and make note of whoever brought up that topic so that we can, talk to him afterwards. And that way nobody can claim your idea because it's written down. And then afterwards, if they email all those notes to everybody who was in the meeting, everybody has written proof of who said what. So there's no way that they can steal your idea afterwards. But because you can be like, no, but actually she mentioned that in the meeting. So we should definitely talk to her and get her opinion.
Yeah.
So I was in a clubhouse room earlier today, and I think there was a room of women, and they were talking about office politics and things like that, and how they've had inappropriate experiences and things like that. And Anthony, I was in the chat earlier asking, what can men do to help? Well, one of the things that the women were talking about was how men would literally comment to them in the workplace, you should play with your hair less, or watch what you wear, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, are you serious with this? Like, I'm sorry. So, but as a man, and I know I can't speak for women, but as a man, anything that does not have to do with that woman's work experience or her work productivity should not be mentioned in the workplace. It has no place. I don't care if she plays with her hair. I don't care how she dresses. That's not a man's place to say that in the workplace. If it's not affecting her work productivity, if it's about her physical appearance, that's not a good look. Just don't do that. As a man, no man should be doing that. I'm sorry. You just don't do that.
And context is key there. Because like I'll walk into an office with my hair dyed a new color. And if my male coworker is like, whoa, cool hair, like that's fine. But if they look at me and they go, whoa, cool hair.
Cool hair. Yeah.
And they're like staring at my boobs while they say that, like that's very, very different. That's very different. So like there is definitely some contextual keys there that you definitely have to think about, like some norms. And part of that is just understanding and empathizing with what would make a woman uncomfortable in the environment that she's at, whether it's workplace, at home, at the grocery store. Same thing goes for like when you're passing somebody on the sidewalk, catcalling. Like context is key. If I pass a stranger on the sidewalk and they're just like, dope hair, I'd be like, cool, thanks. But if they look at me and they go, woo, yeah, dope hair, I'm just like, leave me alone. Pepper spray.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
So I have a question for everybody, and I think this will be helpful for everybody who's watching. What is something that men think is normal, but women think is creepy? So that they think they're giving a compliment, but to us, it's uncomfortable. Because there are things that like to women it's uncomfortable, but for men, they don't realize that they're being uncomfortable.
When they touch me.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
all the time. And I'm not meaning like in a
rubbing your shoulder.
It's more like, oh, you look really cute today. How was that meeting? How did that go? What did they say? And I'm like, my personal bubble is like this big and you're like inside of it. And that's not cool. And I find that so creepy. I don't like it when people touch me. If I don't know them, if I don't invite them into my bubble, if they're not my family or, whatever, I hate it. Don't touch me. And it's the same with like, if they're talking too closely to you. I used to a long time ago, like I would sell electronics and people, a lot of the time dudes would almost always come into my bubble and I would almost have to take like this lunging stance while like leaning my body back. And I'm like, this is not an invitation for you to mount my knee. This is me literally creating space to say, get away from me. I don't want to be this close to you while I talk about digital cameras. Are we cool with that? Like, I don't like it when people invade my space.
On the other hand, like for me, it's people assuming I'm flirting when I naturally engage with people. Like I'm
Yeah.
very talkative. I can sit in a room and find anyone, someone, even if you're sort of annoying me. I can find a way to chat with you. It's a life
Yeah,
skill. It's
same.
a girl life skill. Like girls have learned this because you have to be able to normalize weird scenarios, right? So I
Dude.
can sit there, feel
Yeah.
like, why am I here? I don't want to talk to you. Someone talk to me so I can quit talking to this guy. Be very engaged in the conversation, but that does not mean there's anything outside of that.
Yeah. Same
Like,
with being a military brat. Like you immediately learn how to make friends because you move so often. So like if I go to a convention, I can talk up anybody. I can be friends with whoever wants to be friends with me as long as they're not annoyed with my voice. One thing that I found that makes me really uncomfortable, but people probably think it's totally fine, is when they ask about my marital status or they comment on it. Like they'll say, "Oh, like somebody will say, I wish I knew a girl like you that was single." And I'm just like, it's a little creepy.
Well, going off of
Like,
what Issa
they
was
know
saying
you
about
don't want you.
How like you being nice to someone is them taking it like you're flirting. So I had the situation where it's an old man, okay? He's in his 70s at the time, maybe 80s, so grandfather like. And for the first 2 years or so, it was very just like, hello, how are you? Moving on. So it was super nice. And all of a sudden, the conversations got a little bit like deeper, like, oh, so are you single? And like, that's when I had a weird inkling, like, okay, that's kind of weird. Why are you asking me? He's like, so do you want to get married? Do you want kids? I was like, I don't know you like that. And so, but again, I'm like, okay, this guy's like a grandfather, maybe I don't know, maybe I remind him of his niece or something. Time goes on, and I found out that he's on the spectrum. So I thought, okay, that's on me then. I feel bad that I felt uncomfortable from his interactions because he's on the spectrum. So I thought, okay, cool. I'll take his interactions as being nice. Time goes on again. Long story short, he was asking my hand in marriage to my dad. And
Oh
he
my
kept
God.
like asking for my phone number, calling me. And it sucks that I felt I had this inkling, I had a gut feeling that like this man is weird. I'm getting weird vibes. But I stopped that because I learned, more about him. I thought maybe, okay, I felt like the bad guy. But when it actually ended up being, oh, you know what, I want to marry you. I was like, what? How did that? I don't know. So I'm still trying to like analyze how that happened.
Oh my God. I need to do a video on it. I had a real life stalker that also took my friendliness as being more than that. And the whole thing started because I complimented a scarf that he was wearing when he was in the audience watching a live stream at a network that I used to work at. And he started stalking me. He would show up at my workplace. He would call 8 times a day. He sent me letters. Eventually it got to the point where I had to call the cops and get the cops involved. It was insane. That's the whole story.
I got banned from Uber. I got banned from Uber because of a guy.
What?
Yeah, I got banned until they had remember when Uber had their Uber scandal a couple years ago? There's a lot of internal sexual things going on. Yep. Well, I moved from Ohio to Silicon Valley, and I was driving into San Francisco or whatever the Uber guy was, and we were on the highway going 70 or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, have you smoked weed before?" And honest to God, I've never smoked weed before. It's illegal in Ohio. It was illegal then in California at the time, I believe. It was 2016 or something, whatever. And I was like, no. And he's like, let's pull over and we'll pop your weed cherry. And I was like, ew, why don't you take me to my destination? And I'm super on it like that because I don't like being uncomfortable. And we get there and he was just trying to flirt with me. Can I have your number? Can I have your number? And I'm like, no. And I get out of the car and I immediately, I was going on a date. So I was meeting some guy at a dinner. And the next morning, because I obviously left and that was uncomfortable and whatever. Next morning, I wake up to an email from Uber saying that my account was banned and I cannot use the services anymore because the Uber driver said that I was asking for drugs. Yeah.
Wow.
And Uber took its side, like that person's side. It was terrible. I sent so many, but it was like, it's a he said, she said situation. So we're going to take the side of the driver. And like, I was banned from it. And I've never taken Uber since.
On a side note, I hate Uber.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I Lyft. I will
scary.
Lyft,
Lyft as
but I will
well.
not Uber. And that's just personal reasons. No.
It's terrible. It's so dangerous. Like,
oh, it's super dangerous. That's the thing. Like, I think I've heard this phrase before because even like, anyways, I'm going to keep to the point, Shelly. I'm going to keep on the point. I've heard this phrase before, and it was the thing every single day in every single place. Like, if we are at home sleeping in our beds, we are always afraid of the thing that men are only afraid of happening to them in the shower in jail.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
It's pretty much
How
amazing.
accurate is that?
Yeah, it's pretty much amazing to me how men have never worried about being in an elevator with another person ever.
Yeah.
Or how men have never worried about walking home alone at night.
Or going
when
to
you
the
tell
carnival
men
party.
that you put the keys in between as like a brass knuckles type thing, they're like,
Calling
you're like,
calling a
always,
taxi, calling a
always.
Uber.
Yeah, there's like a whole process where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. Let me think about my scenario. What's surrounding me? What time is it? Oh, do I see a safe place I can go if something happens? Oh, is my hair up in a ponytail? Will they be able to grab me? Am I vulnerable? It's like all these thoughts happen in 1 second.
Imagine deciding if you're gonna wear a ponytail when you leave your house, because there was once this article that came out that said that attackers were most likely to grab girls with ponytails because it's easier. And so for a while I wouldn't tie my hair in a ponytail. And it's like, have you ever thought about that?
When I go running outside, I don't wear headphones because you're more likely to get attacked if you're running. So I actually, if I want to go for a jog outside, I don't get to enjoy listening to music while I run because it could put my safety at risk. And that's crazy. That's crazy.
So
when I go to conventions, I have somebody, like usually a male co-host or a male friend of mine, walk with me to the to my hotel room, and I let them know which room I'm in, and I also have them walk me to the bathroom, like the public bathroom in the convention event center, because you don't know what could happen.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So I'm still like just shocked over. Well, I shouldn't be shocked, but I'm just surprised earlier that you guys were talking about how, or you ladies, I keep saying you guys, but you ladies were talking about how men will touch you thinking that's okay, but in actuality, they know it's not okay. I was at work one day and I was working with a woman fixing her computer, and whatever happened, I fixed the issue. And she was like, "Can I give you a hug?" And I'm like, huh? I said, yeah, because I didn't want to feel rude, but even that interaction to me, I'm like, okay, I'm all careful, like not to like touch you, because I don't want to put myself in a situation where that could just go sideways. So for men to like actually feel like they can touch you all in like anywhere and just think that's okay, that just nah.
Or
No.
take pictures, or just
It's like, I don't know you. Don't touch me. I don't know you.
Yeah,
Dude, summer. Yeah.
taking
When
pictures.
When I work at DEF CON, like I usually end up like doing some media event or co-hosting or doing something or walking around just doing social media, but people will straight up take pictures of me because they recognize me from Hack 5. And DEF CON in particular has this very, very strict policy against taking pictures of people without their consent, because it's a hacker convention and there are a lot of people that want to stay anonymous at hacker cons. And even though I'm a host of, a YouTube channel, I straight up tell every single person that when I see them do this, I'm like, you could get kicked out. I could tell a goon to come over here and kick you out. I don't care if I do a show online. You cannot take a picture of me without my consent. And they usually just apologize and they delete the picture. Like I will straight up check and make sure they delete the picture. But like, it's intrusive.
I've seen some conferences where people now wear colored wristbands, which is their level of consent for photos. Like, yes, you can take a photo of me, and it saves people from having to have an uncomfortable conversation of, I do not want you to take my picture. So you would know that if someone is wearing, let's say, a pink because that's the best color. Good for you. Wristband that it means, yeah, go ahead, take my picture, but if it's like a black one, it's like, don't take their picture.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to explain themselves.
That's smart.
Oh, I work at coffee shops a lot. Well, not now, but I literally walked over to a man and told him to delete a picture because he had taken a picture of two teenage girls. They had, I don't even know what age they were. The two teenage girls where they were waiting for their coffee at Starbucks.
Ew.
He was just like in the back and he was just like taking a picture.
And you could tell, man. You could straight up tell
mad.
when he was doing that.
It's like, I see you. I see you.
Oh, I was livid because I'm like, this is not the first time that guy has done that. But that's weird to me too, is like the pictures, the touching, and like, would you like, I don't know.
Does anybody else love wearing a mask when you go to public places just because like it gives you a little bit of anonymity?
It's true.
Like,
no,
smile, and you're like, yeah,
I'm
I
like,
am.
yeah, I don't have to smile. So
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. The smiling. I'm sorry. Of course. Why do
I
we?
hate
the
that.
smile-
That is
Oh my God, don't tell us to smile. Do not. It's
telling
so
you.
annoying.
I'm like, you'd be pretty if you smiled more. I'm still pretty. Shut up.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I know I'm hot. Like, you don't need to tell me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hate it. Like, compliments are great, but for you to give me a compliment, which implies that I do not know I'm sorry. Okay, no, I don't apologize. I do not know my hotness. I am hot. Shut up. I don't
like it when people find that you accept a compliment and that's the end of the sentence, or whatever it is. They don't like that. They don't like it unless you like you're programmed to like say thank you, and now let me say either something nice about you or thank you, and then feign like, oh, I'm not pretty today, my hair is a mess, and it's like this whole wow, you're a real bitch if you just say, I know, I look good, thank you.
Yeah. I want to start saying that now. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, when I went to the closet this morning and I picked it out, I knew I looked good in it. You know why? Because I bought the clothes when I was at the store.
Yeah. That's something that I've been trying to reprogram. I mean, you just heard me apologize for everything. And this is what I took away from a certain talk from other girls. They were like, no, stop. And you guys just did that. But it takes a lot for you to reprogram yourself. And
you know what it is? I'm so excited to say this.
Go.
Wait, but hold on. I think it's because everybody, like the whole damn shebang, has to reprogram that idea that we women are like getting snazzy for other people and for attention when we are getting snazzy for our own damn self, or not getting snazzy for our own damn self, right? And like when we control it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's funny to me when people assume that you're getting dolled up so that people online, your Instagram followers will think you're hot. I'm like, dude, I am not trying to pick up anyone here. I just really like how I look. I just really enjoy looking this way. And it's so frustrating to me when like I get a comment and like someone's like, yeah, Isa, like tell them you're taken. I'm like, no, that shouldn't even be the point. Take my boyfriend outside of this equation. It doesn't matter if I'm taking. The point is I'm saying no. This is not okay. Whether I have a boyfriend or no boyfriend, this interaction, you giving me shit or giving me your quote unquote compliments.
I hate not okay. When thank you, but no is not enough.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to get to.
I've had that on, I posted it on Twitter when I said like, thank you. I'm not, but like, no, I'm not interested in continuing this conversation. You are not one of my coaching clients. I am not comfortable being in the DMs. And then it was like, but let's continue on. And I'm like, but let's not. Thank you, but no.
Yeah, that's something
needs to be okay.
Yeah,
God, they're like MLMs.
Yeah, I totally agree, because there's been times where it's like in the pre-COVID times, where you get hit on, and then it's oh, but why? Like, do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? Are you this? It's like, I'm just not interested. Just accept that I'm not interested in you and take your loss, take your L. Like, that's it. End of conversation. Like, so that's another thing. If you're on the other shoe, don't keep pushing. Just accept the no and then like move on.
It's
Yeah.
like, I don't need to owe you an explanation. I
Yeah.
gave you an answer. The answer was no.
No.
You know how to take their L's, definitely.
That brings me like to another question.
Sure.
So how many connections have you lost or potential opportunities have you lost because the dude just wanted to flirt with you and go grab a coffee, or just, oh, it's so frustrating because it's like, yeah, let's do business. I'm so excited to work with you and do all this and whatever. And then bam. So do you want to get drinks so we can talk about it or whatever?
Yep. I had a camera guy come on to me during a event that I was hosting live, and I had to talk to HR about him, and I'm pretty sure that affected my ability to get future event hosting privileges with said company. That sucked. And I've also worked for a guy who he was very toxic, but he was the owner of the company, and you could definitely tell that like having a young female who had a following was very threatening to him, because he had come into this career path so much earlier than I had. And I don't work there anymore, so I don't get guest hosting spots on there or anything, which is fine because screw them. But also, I think that it did affect my ability to, get those opportunities.
And you did nothing.
No, I did nothing. I did my job.
That's frustrating. That's very frustrating because it's like you did nothing. The man made you uncomfortable or was disrespectful, and still you get punished for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it sucks
so many times. And that's one of the most frustrating things, I think, to me, because I can like handle the catcalling, the weirdos most of the time. But like when it comes to what you're passionate about and what you really know what you're talking about, and you want to just do business, and then it gets taken away from you, not even because of something that you've done, that's a real issue with me.
Yeah, I had one of those like PR people ask me to go to coffee. He was just like, hey, we should just me and you go to coffee sometime. And I was just like, no, you can call me and we can talk for 30 minutes about the potential to do a collaboration about your brand. Never heard from him.
I remember this tweet, I think Shannon put out a while back, and I was like, oh my God, this is so true, because she was talking about how like women in tech get comments that men in tech won't. Like she was saying, I have gotten comments about it when she was host. I'm sorry, I'm telling them about your tweet, but it's just that I was like, So she was saying that like I, being a woman in tech, a very visible host, woman in tech, hacker, like I've been told that I was there because I was probably sleeping with my co-host, or if not, maybe she got there by sleeping with her co-host. And like I could totally relate, because my boyfriend's in tech and we met at the tech show. I was writing for a tech website, and when I started my channel, there were people going like, oh, now she's riding on the coattails. Now she wants to be in tech because her boyfriend's in tech. Like now, like there was this one particular comment which got mad at me because I was nasty, and I can only assume it was because I am very outspoken about the crap comments I get, and that I would never make it in the industry unless I ride my boyfriend's coattails. And I'm like, bro,
yeah, I
even
invited
in the same
you
right now.
I invited you to a collab, okay?
Yeah, no,
I
I definitely can relate, because I feel like I've lost opportunities throughout. I've been in the industry for 11 years now. And so there's definitely opportunities that I missed out on because I didn't want to get pressured into doing something I didn't want to do, or I didn't flirt enough with the person where they determined what they had power over me, essentially. But then there's like another layer for me, at least, that I want to talk about, is this. It's because I am a woman of color that I have this 2-layer thing against me, where it's like I'm a woman and then I'm, Latina. And so there's like another layer of where I have to code switch a lot. And so I've lost opportunities like that, where people have called me feisty, or like they use microaggressions towards me, like feisty, or she's like pushy and she's this and that. And like, oh, I like her fiery. And it's just, those are all microaggressions that I've had to deal with throughout the time in the industry. And I feel like when I speak up about it, I feel like that has not worked in my favor in the past. It's actually worked against me.
Oh my God. Yes. I like so it's I have so many emotions here. It's like
Yeah.
me being a Filipina, like you don't understand the shit that I get from people, even just traveling. I have gotten stuff from immigration because they assume that as a single Filipina traveling, I'm off to find husbands or some weird shit like that. And I'm just like, what? And a lot of people assume that being an Asian, I would not be this outspoken. And then I was like, check my Twitter. God, like people, like a little research would do you good. And it's just so frustrating to me how, aside from being a woman, because I am Filipina, and there is a reputation for like 90 Day Fiance or stuff like that, and I'm like literally like here doing my shit, and people assume that I'm just out to find someone who will save me. I don't need saving. And like, I mean, what? Like, you're expecting me, just because one, I'm a woman, and two, I'm Filipina, to be submissive and just say yes to everything you tell me. And it's a very weird situation. It's a tech show filled with white guys, and you're Asian. You're sitting there and they expect for you to just nod along.
I have the same because I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm also Asian.
Oh,
and,
you are?
Wait, what?
Unfortunately, some people on the internet have also noticed, and so they also think that like
Oh my God.
it means that I am subservient in some way. And I'm like, oh no. First of all, I am an import, and I don't subscribe to that theory. So I think that, like a lot of the people, they think like you're too feisty, right? Or you say things too much, or yeah, why are you so mean? You're supposed to be so amenable. And I'm like, oh, you do not know me like at all. But they have tons of misconceptions about what that looks like for me as well. So I'm right there with you.
Imagine like this. A few months ago, I had a whole interaction with some dudes online about how they were telling me that my country needed saving and colonizing anyway, so they saved everyone. And I'm like,
Wow. What?
what?
She about to go
Like
in.
literally, it was a whole ass conversation about how, I mean, it stemmed from something they said about politics, and it stemmed into how some countries needed saving, and so therefore my country was saved when we were colonized. Never mind everyone who died, but it needed saving because some peoples need, that someone to take them and make them into whatever advanced. I can't.
Yes, let me speak for my people when I say thank you, but no.
Exactly. And it's like, it was so funny because this was a whole ass conversation, and he was linking Wikipedia articles, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You're telling me a Filipino who was born here, lives here, studied our history, you're telling me that what they did to my country, what happened, the history is all wrong because of this Wikipedia article.
I love being, sorry, I'm going to say it, but I love being white-splained sometimes. Like, I love it when people, and I'm being sarcastic, but it's the same thing where it's like, oh, but did you know like this and that about, I'm like, yeah, last time I checked, I know. That's super frustrating because I think a lot of the times, in my experience, sometimes they mean well, but they try to talk to me as if I don't know what's going on. And they come from, I think they mean well, but they come off as a know-it-all, and instead of being more helpful, it causes more harm. I don't know if am I explaining it well or not.
Well, it's the same thing as it's the same thing as everything that we've been talking about, like with men. There are a lot of great men out there that do not mean to hurt our feelings, that do not mean to offend us or anything. Mm-hmm. They had no clue. And it's just also like our responsibility too, to just be like, hey, you know what? That was kind of worded weird. I didn't feel comfortable with that, like bringing that up. But then like not getting so defensive about it because maybe they honest to God didn't mean it. So it's just that conversation, I guess.
I think it does help. Like to me, I try to create to like have that distinction in my brain. If someone is well meaning and it doesn't come out right, I try to open a dialogue and be like, yeah, see, this is why it's sort of not okay. I know that that's not what you mean. I know that some people would say that that's not your responsibility, and it's not. But if it helps the cause, we just want it fixed, like, let's try. Like, that's provided you have the bandwidth for it. I know that a lot of time, we can't be bothered because, I mean, life happens and it's not our duty to educate. But at the same time, it's not just creating a dialogue, it's creating a dialogue between you and the people you can influence. And I always say that for example, when I post my comebacks to the crap comments I get, I always say that it's mostly one, for some other woman creator to see that they're not gonna take this, I'm not gonna take this shit, and you don't have to either. And two, for the men in my immediate vicinity to get that this is not okay. So it's actually signaling, it's actually creating boundaries. And I get a lot of people saying, you don't have to reply. And I get that. Don't get me wrong. If that's how you want to deal with it, that's fine. But to me, this is not so much to get back at like the crap commenter, but to signal to the people who actually listen to me that this is what's happening. It's not okay. And maybe we could all learn from this. Ooh, kitty.
She wanted to talk.
Tell us, Overlord. Tell us your thoughts.
Tell us, Queen Starbuck. How do you feel today?
Yo, shout out to Zach for the super chat. Cheers to all the strong lady gone tonight. Appreciate all you do and what you bring to the creative community. Vibe, thanks for putting it together. You're welcome, man. These conversations need to happen, and I'm glad I can bring them together, and I'm glad that they were willing to come on and talk. So thank all of you, seriously. Man. Wow.
Well,
So,
and you know what? I've seen lots of men in the chat being like, what can we do? What can we do? I have 3 daughters, and, Michael saying, men want to learn and accept. And, I think there's something to be said of like when you're asking or when women are speaking up, like we need to make it normal that women have a different perspective anyways. Right? Like how a woman's going to review attack is going to come from, and I don't review attack, but we're going to have how we would use the attack, right?
Yes!
Which we would use it different. Yes. And so I think it's when you're in those spaces, it's not just like, remember to ask the woman for her opinion. It's like to remember to have massive value in the fact that she's coming from a different place and her place has value. Do you know what I mean? Like, historical cultures had, where they had like the grandmothers, and they would have to go and speak to the grandmothers because the grandmothers had to say if it was good for the people. And I think women innately have that mothering instinct, and that is powerful and not something that we need to. Am I making sense, or am I outside?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. Also, like to add to that is the fact that I think another way that men can help us is that sometimes when we talk about our experiences, don't go in with a sense of doubt and closed-mindedness, because the thing is, a lot of the things that happen to us is very invisible and under the surface. And sometimes it's so subtle, we cannot explain it, where it's like, I know this happened, I can't prove it, but this is a feeling because years and years of experience of, being in this industry and being, a female. So it's like, there's been instances where I'm like, I think this person said something sexist and I can't prove it. It's just one of those gut feelings, like it just didn't feel right. And so I think that's another really helpful thing for men to do is like listen to our experiences, and instead of going in like, oh, well, prove it. How can you do this? Just go with an open mind and make sure that we feel our experiences and opinions are valid. Don't invalidate our feelings.
Validated on your male terms. Yeah. We get validated on our female terms, which is like we're coming from a different planet.
Yeah, and it's opening conversation about it. I like, so for me it's also talking to the people you can influence, not just on Twitter. Like, for example, with my boyfriend, I have explained to him why, for example, something that can seem minuscule to a man can be very infuriating for a woman, because if you've been treated this way all your life, all it takes is that one tiny thing to set you off. Because it's years and years and years of compacted issues and microaggressions, and then you get like one tiny comment, and of course you're gonna get mad, because it's a pressure point, and all of a sudden you're gonna burst. And I recognize that, of course, he's not gonna get it at first, but it's creating an open dialogue to explain. At least for me, I will find effort to do that with the people around me, and I can only hope that, once this man understands, he can explain to whoever he needs to be explaining it to. And number two, and I think this applies to a lot of things. This is what we do in our relationship, and it has helped a lot. Like, we figure out so my boyfriend's a fixer. I am someone who vents. And so we figured out that I don't need someone to fix it. I need someone to listen. So a lot of times when women are telling you something,
don't fix that shit.
Want to fix.
It's not about the nail. Have you seen that? It's not about the nail. That's the funniest video I've ever seen.
But like it helps so much. Like that whole thing, once it clicks, it will save you so many arguments. It's a beautiful thing.
Isa, I just realized that my husband and I are the same kind of relationship, where he's the fixer and I'm the venter.
Yeah.
So
now I know.
Something that's helped me out. Something that's helped me out so much that I've done in previous relationships, and I'm doing with friendships as well. Ask. Be like, do you want me to just support you, or do you want me to help you find a solution? And more often we will tell you like, nope, we're just venting. And then right away where it's like what mode you're in. And I do this with all my friends too. When they're like really struggling with something and venting to me, I ask, do you want me to fix this, or do you just want me to support you and listen to you? Great. Now I know where expectations are, and I won't overstep.
I had to do the same with my friends because I'm a fixer and my husband is a venter. And
I'm a
fixer.
Like,
I don't care about the rest of your, can we just get to the end point where I can tell you what to do and fix it? Yeah. And he's just like, but the nail. And I'm like, can we just stop with the nail? And so I had to do the same with my friends. I was like, okay, what hat do I wear right now? Is this a solidarity, screw him and let's get the ice cream? Or is this no, I need a step A through Z plan. We're going to get ourselves out of this and extricate ourselves from the situation. Yeah. And once I know that I was like, oh no, we're not putting the planning hat on today. It's really okay, we'll pass the bottle of wine, because to listen to your story, I'm going to need to get drunk. So
yeah, I have a one of you in my real life. And whenever there's drama going on, she's like, I'm just going to leave until it's time to make the plan. And she exits the room. She's like,
I don't do well with that kind of stuff. And so I actually have done that too, where someone was they're in the middle of this crying, session. And I don't do that. I really not to be I just don't have that in me to just be oh, let me hug you while you cry. I'm the most uncomfortable. Once my ex-boss was in the back room crying, and probably a normal person would run up to them and be like, well, it's fine. Let's hold each other and sway. And I was I just turned around and said, I will come back in 15 minutes. I was I'm going to give you a minute, and I just hightailed it out of there. I was just I don't have that in me to just be let's fix your shit. Not let me hug you and pat your head.
All I could think of is the meme where it's a broom and the broom is on the there.
Yes.
Yo, Josh, we are literally giving you the blueprint, bro. We are giving you the blueprint tonight, Josh. You got Josh. You got to do it.
Did we designate anyone to take notes?
You all look like note takers. You all look like you're really good at taking notes.
You all look like you have really nice handwriting. It's probably very tidy. So it's so much better than our book.
Nope. Make one of the guys take the notes.
Yeah, you seem organized. You seem organized and well put together.
Mm-hmm.
This was our book that we were going to sell so that we could have a clubhouse room that is multi-million dollars.
Swipe. Love it.
Missed opportunity.
Not the multi-million-dollar clubhouse room. No, God, no. Wow, this has been quite the conversation tonight. I appreciate all of you all hanging out tonight. Thank you. Wow.
Thanks for the platform, Viper. And Can I take a second to shout out every single man in the comments section tonight? Because damn, there has been some supportive and like really wanting to listen and learn comments. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yay.
No problem. No problem. Yeah.
Gold star today.
Gold stars, 5 of them.
Gold. Yeah, I have some pretty good dudes that rock with me. So yeah, I mean, like I said, this is not my first rodeo having a ladies' night. This is like the 6th one I've had. So
Oh, awesome.
they should be used to it by now. They should be used to it. Yeah, like I said, I told you guys earlier, I just, for whatever reason, the women,
Ladies.
what's up? Oh,
Ladies.
ladies, that's right. My bad. But for whatever reason, the women in tech, they just make themselves scarce sometimes. So I like to bring the ladies together to have a chat every once in a while. So I appreciate you all. So I think I was talking to everybody over here about Clubhouse. Actually, Ether, I have not gotten your take about Clubhouse yet. I invited you. I think what, been 2 weeks, 3 weeks now?
Dude, you invited me, and then the first like 2 weeks, I was just like always on. I'd wake up and I'd be on Clubhouse. I was about to sleep, and then I'd be on Clubhouse, and then it'd be like 3 hours later. I'm like, I took a break. I had to take a break this week because my productivity just like shot down ever since I downloaded that app. But
Same.
it is an amazing app in that it's such an organic what I think someone, was it you, Viper, who said it's literally like podcasting, but it's Twitter and it's a call or something like that.
It's like a podcast rolled up in a Twitter body or a Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an amazing app. I've learned so many things. Like day one, I learned so many things. It's such a great way to be able to connect. That being said, though, it's not exempt from flaws. As a woman, I know that we are all very susceptible to harassment and or targeting, and that is one of the possible issues of Clubhouse. It is a platform where, like, how do you what's the word? How do you moderate? It's real time. It's chatting. All it takes is one crap person to call on crap people, to snowball and pile on someone. I know of tech journalists who've had issues with Clubhouse, who've had spoken out about being the target of harassment in certain Clubhouse rooms. So it's like, I get it, but then at the same time, it's like every platform has its own issues.
Yep.
So I mean, I enjoy it, but it's also, I try to take it with a grain of salt and try to, make sure, as always, surround yourself with people who are sensible and are responsible enough. And that just makes your experience better, I think.
Yeah, I think being mindful of who you surround yourself with and who you choose to follow on the app is key. And shout out to Mr. Joshua for the super chat. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey!
Ether, do we want to let the ladies know who he is, or do we?
He's my boyfriend. He listens.
Yeah, he's a boyfriend. So,
What is he taking notes?
Oh, he better be taking notes.
Yeah, he is. He has been. We have had like so we are both very big conversation people. And so what I love about Joshua is that we've had these hard conversations. We've had these hard conversations about how it feels to be a woman. And like, I've seen him just like, that light bulb moment when you talk to someone who doesn't really get it, and then you talk them through it. Like, I've seen him get it. And like, we've had conversations on not just being a woman, but also race and also all these like heavy, hard hitting stuff. And I think that is very important, not just in like romantic relationships, but in like your circles as well. It redounds to like surrounding yourself with these mindful people, right? Like, you have to give out and influence your own little circles for it to affect the actual change you want. Because we create stuff online, and sure, you can explain this to people that you don't know online who follow you, but in your everyday life, if you're able to explain and live it and preach it, I feel like that's actually the most important thing.
Yep. Well said. And Joshua's a good guy. Joshua's one of the DPF people, so you are in good hands with Joshua.
Oh, also thank you to Michael because he said that he's learned a lot from our podcast. We started
Yeah.
a built-in date night. That's actually a podcast where we talk about so many other things. So like it's been cool, and Michael has like we've touched like really weird stuff on that podcast, and I appreciate that people listen, and I appreciate that people take time to listen.
Yeah, it's an awesome podcast. Definitely.
Thank you. We have a stream after this, I think. Maybe. Are we still doing it? I don't know. We'll find out.
You got company back there. What you got there? What's going on back there? Who we got back there? Who's that?
This is my dog. I'm trying to do like a Vanna White thing. Like, hello, this is my dog.
Oh, so cute.
He likes to make an appearance every once in a while during meetings and all that. That's my retriever. And then I have one who just came in because now he heard me talking, but he's down here. Yeah. So this is their dog bed while I work in the. Oh, hello, hi. He's trying to come up here.
Bring him up. Bring him up.
I got to bring him on camera.
Oh my God! Hold on. Come here.
Yes, the pet segment.
Oh.
He's like, hello.
Hi, Rosie.
Puppy cam. Oh, okay. He's down. He wants to get off.
Right. That is awesome.
No. I have a question I have a poll, like a voting question. Are you guys into it?
Yes.
Shoot.
Okay. Clubhouse. When people are up on the stage, Viper, do you know where I'm going with this?
Oh, I know where you're going.
Do you think people should leave quietly if they're a speaker, or wait for an appropriate time to say, thank you for having me, but I have to go? So do you think, raise your hand, do you think they should leave quietly?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, we're voting. Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you
we're
were
voting.
raising your hand
We're
to say
voting.
something. Okay.
This is bigger than like the American election, you guys. This is Clubhouse.
Oh, no.
So you think people should leave quietly and not say, hey guys, thanks for having me, but I have to leave?
It depends. It depends on if they're one of the people running the room or not.
Yeah, no, I mean if they're like running the room. If they're being like
then I think they should say that they're leaving.
okay, if you have a green star, should you say you're leaving or should you leave quietly?
Yeah, I think you should say
There's
that.
a lot of
if you
green
have a
star
green
people,
star.
though. Like how many green star people?
Wait, how
I
do
mean,
you get a
those-
green star? I don't have a green
As soon
star.
as I
Like
go
you're a
into-
moderator.
Yeah, if I go into one of those rooms with like 50 green stars, I'm like out like half.
Yeah, sure. I think like there's already so many weird moments, which is why I wish there was reactions for people that aren't speakers or anything. Because like somebody could like pour their heart out for a second, and then the moderator's like, thanks so much for talking about that. Now let's go to the next thing. And it's so awkward. Like those are awkward moments that I feel like the people that chime in that say, hey, I gotta go, it's just another like added awkward moment to the conversation that just doesn't need to be there. Unless there's like
So
three
maybe
moderators and one of
should
them.
they have like a little pop-up that says like, you know, this speaker is leaving, just a silent thing that shows
like
up at
the speaker
bottom?
says, thanks for having me. Like, thanks for having me. And then
That'd be cool.
Or like a 10 character
like a
limit.
little
that says
wave
hello.
emoji.
As
Yeah.
a producer,
Having
I'm
me-
sure they have a product backlog that's prioritized, and they're
Man.
probably still because it's invite only and it's not open to everyone. I'm pretty sure that they are doing a lot of server loading right now in terms of capacity and making sure people
can
can
tell.
actually get. And so maybe let's hope they have more features in their backlog to improve this experience. There's a lot of things that are missing.
I think right now one thing that people can also do is I have a folder on my phone that is called Clubhouse, and it has 3 photos inside of it. It has my normal profile photo. It has a I'm just listening. That is my AKA do not pull me up on stage, do not invite me type of thing.
Oh, that's
And then there's one that
smart.
says back in 5 minutes or like stepped away for a second. So if someone was to pull and refresh, they would see like I wasn't there, or like it's
That's
just an
smart.
ear thing.
Yeah.
But like there are sometimes like just for whatever, I've totally deuced out pieces before, even if I was a moderator. And it's like, here's the thing is like, if I'm already giving a whole bunch of time and there's like 5 moderators on stage, it's not like I'm leaving it to like no one, or if I bounce, then the room like goes away. You know what I mean? It's just like, if I'm already giving part of my time, I don't owe you an explanation to be like, hey, dude, I'm going to go have dinner. You know, like I don't need to wait to have a piece of the moment to I can just be like, I gotta go. Like, and I think it's almost more rude to be like, listen through someone's question and then be like, thanks for having me, but I gotta go. You were just waiting for that moment, and you just slip out quietly. No one really cares. No one probably
Viper,
even noticed.
You won. Viper, you completely won. You're right.
It is common human decency. Why would anybody interrupt a conversation to announce they're leaving?
It's ruder to wait and interrupt someone and be like, see ya.
That button is literally called leave quietly for a reason. Use it.
But what if I feel quietly? I want everyone to hear me.
No, probably not.
I
think it's ruder to make a show of it. And
yeah.
I feel like waiting for the right spot to say goodbye is like if you're in a Hispanic household and you're leaving after a family event, saying goodbye takes another hour and a half.
Oh, it's an hour.
Oh, God,
it's an hour.
So I feel it's the same thing where it's like you're trying to, no, I'm like, just go.
Just leave. All right. We don't owe you. You're not paying me by the hour to be there or by the minute. So I don't owe you the rest of the time to finally find a break in the conversation to be like, okay, deuces. I'm going to flip.
I'm so glad you brought up the Hispanic household thing, because I think that's so ingrained in me, because it's a cultural thing for me where it's like growing up, it's always say goodbye to everyone. We're going to go, we're going to leave. Oh, okay. So that means an hour of saying goodbye, because I have to say goodbye to every single person, because if I don't, that is rude and disrespectful. And so that's so ingrained in my brain that it's so hard to break out of, where it's like, I just leave and don't say anything. Oh, yeah. Will they think I'm rude? And then it's just so awkward. So I'm really glad you had this conversation. I learned.
That will have you canceled. That will have you canceled with this, Renee. You better stop it.
I call it the Irish. Well, you know how they call it the Irish goodbye, and so my married maiden name was Irish, and I would always tell people like I'm Irish, like goodbye. For anything. I'd just be like, I'd be like, I didn't see you at the party. I left. See ya.
I actually am Irish, and I actually use as an excuse for everything. Mostly why you don't want me to have more than 3 drinks.
Or do we?
I'm Irish.
Like me and Liv was talking about earlier, if you're on stage and there's like a pause in the conversation, then I have no problem with you telling people that you're leaving or you're announcing your departure. That's fine. But if there's an active conversation going on stage and you oh God.
No, that's rude.
Fighting up in here. You fighting.
How does it work on podcasts?
What do you mean?
Well, when you have to go on a podcast.
Oh, I mean, well, it depends. If it's like a 2-person podcast or like a group of people.
This one. Renee's got my Canadian back. He's like, it's Canadian law to say goodbye and sorry. When you leave.
Maybe you just wave and then leave.
I have seen Renee use the button, so Renee knows what's going on. Renee will know what time it is. He knows what time it is.
But he says it's also rude to interrupt, so choose your guilt. That was the second part of that comment.
Okay, now I know my problem, Viper. You were right. I'm just Canadian. I got it.
It's amazing though, because like literally Clubhouse is so new that we're at the throes of creating a culture of what's okay and what's not okay on a new app. You know? So it's the same way as like how you have Facebook Messenger or Instagram. Yeah, right? Facebook Messenger or Instagram DMs, like how you're like, oh, is it normal to just slide into DMs or not? And like eventually people are like, well, if I don't know you, don't slide into my DMs. You know, there has become a culture of like what's okay, what's not okay when it comes to, let's say, story reactions or stuff like that. And so now we have Clubhouse, which is a completely new thing. And real life culture is now seeping into what should I do? So like it's just very interesting.
We're going through growing pains. We're figuring it out.
Well, I have to. There's no leave quietly button on here. I could just close my computer, but no. Bye. No.
There's a leave studio option.
Leave studio. I have to go. I have to manage teenagers.
Liz, that's an awesome segue, though. That question.
I will say, in person, when you see faces, I think it's polite to say goodbye. But in Clubhouse, no.
Okay. Well, in person, this is my goodbye. I am truly, truly grateful to have gotten to hang out with you, incredible women, and Viper. So thanks for having me.
You for joining us tonight.
Me too. Nice meeting you.
Bye, Liz.
Nice to meet you guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
So Yesenia, I think you are the only person that I have not asked tonight about your opinions of Clubhouse, the platform. So what do you think about it?
Oh man, it is interesting.
That answer the beginning. That's funny.
So I'm a little 50-50 on it. It's because it is an in real life podcast where people jump in and out of rooms, but essentially you're getting Twitter in real life, but in audio now. And so that's where the bad comes in, where I don't think Clubhouse has figured out what it wants to be yet as a platform. And I'm sure they haven't thought about, they're probably still working out, figuring out privacy and moderation tools still as the app continues to grow. So I'm a little 50-50 on it. Like, it's been great for me in terms of like jumping into conversations and just hearing things. But oftentimes I'm hearing the same conversations from the same people happening in Clubhouse. So I feel like there's not a lot of new things that I'm running into. And another experience that I have, I don't know if anyone else has had this experience, but for me, it's been, sometimes I get frustrated in certain rooms where it's a lot of, like I mentioned, a lot of the same people having conversations and talking and taking up space, but there's really no new information. But then they want to make comments of like, they want to be more diverse. They make comments like, oh, we should include more people, but it's the same people talking. And it's one of those things where it's like, I want more diverse people. I want this and that, but also let me finish and let me continue talking all about me. And it's just like, I can't put in a word, and you continue to bring up the same people over and over again that already have a platform and have an audience. So you can't even bring in different perspectives. And so it sounds like I'm going on a rant, but that's been my experience, where it's like, it's the same people who already have this privilege and platform to kind of have large conversations, but there's no new voices that's coming in because we're still silencing them out.
Mm.
Well, ladies, I hate to leave, but my Domino's pizza just got here.
Oh,
I've upset her. It's okay. It's my fault. No.
Yeah, right. I found you on Twitter already.
Well, it's not that hard. It's like there.
Same.
It's so nice to meet you and talk with you.
You too. I will
Awesome
talk
to
to you.
finally talk to you in like
I know.
real
Isa, we
people
need to-
person places.
Hopefully one day we can actually hang out in person and get some wine or something.
Yes, I say yes.
Yes.
All right. I'll talk to you ladies later. Thank you, Viper, for having me.
thank you, Shannon.
Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, that's been my experience on Clubhouse, and then also the fact, but I have been enjoying it in the other 50, where it's like, it's been really fun to jump in random conversations, and I kind of missed that from not being able to go to conventions, especially this past year with the pandemic, where I would have these random conversations like at E3 or PAX or anything like that, where it's like, oh, you bump into them at a hall, and next thing you know, you're just talking to them for hours or over dinner or drinks or whatever. So it kind of has that nice vibe to it, but I really think it depends on the room and how big it is, how many moderators there are, because I feel like you really need a really good moderator, because there's been some rooms that just out of control, and those are the ones I usually go peace and I leave. But something that's been really nice is the people who created closed rooms, like private rooms with only people, mutuals that you follow each other, and those have been really nice because it's only like 10 of us, and it has more of that intimate vibe to it. So that's my Clubhouse shenanigans details for you. I guess that answered your question.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it makes sense when you said that, like, you miss like talking to people. For me, it's also, I realized that when you said it, like, I live in Manila, and I never really realized this until the pandemic happened, because usually I fly in and I meet people. So every few months I'd meet all of these tech friends at shows or events, and when this whole thing started, I'm like, whoa, I'm far away.
Yeah.
Whoa, I've not seen all of these people, and I've like gone out of my house a total of 10 times since like March. It's been that crazy. So I have been sorely missing actually talking to people. And when Clubhouse happened, I'm like,
Yeah.
conversations.
I know, that's what it was for me. I was like, oh, people. There's people around me. I could talk to them because I live alone, and it's like my dogs don't talk to me. So this is like really rejuvenating
And
for
no
me.
matter how much we talk to the dogs, they never really say anything back, do they?
They're kind of rude.
They kind of just like leave quietly.
My dog, however, is not quietly. He really barks and is very demanding. and he's like, pay attention to me. So I am gonna have to go and obey him because he's the ruler. Unfortunately, I haven't been able
all the
to.
subjects.
yes, we are. That's the only man that I will allow to rule over me. Big dog. That's it.
It was nice to chat with you.
Yeah,
Nice
you
to meet
too. It's
you.
awesome. Don't stay up too late. It's already 9 p.m. Wow. Oh, I can't believe I'm awake.
It's 7 over here.
Oh, God.
Dude, it's like 11 over here.
Oh, wow. It's definitely way past my bedtime, but no, this was awesome. Thank you, Vipe, again for a fantastic night.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, the same way I think I have to go too because Josh, are you there? I think we're doing our podcast after this, our stream after this. So I sort of have to get that done. I'm in charge of the podcast now. So I will go ahead as well. Thank you so much, Viper. Always awesome to be part of anything you arrange. And you girls, I already found you online. So
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Oh, well, I've met you in Clubhouse, so nice meeting you like face to face.
I know it's so weird now, huh? Like even Shannon, like I've met her on Twitter, but this is the first time we were talking face to face. I'm like, she's moving and talking to me. Woo. Great. Okay, guys.
I appreciate
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good evening.
See you.
You know what?
Sure.
Brings up an interesting point that I need to probably go get a video out at some point tonight to have it done for the morning. Shelly, what's going on? You got a smirk on your face. What's up, Shelly?
No, I'm proud of you for, make sure you make your content consistency. You know how I appreciate that.
Yes. I am hell bent on putting these videos out consistently. And Summer, you just look like you just woke up bright eyed and bushy tailed. What's on your mind?
Why are you always so perfect? It's a little annoying. You're just beautiful and perky, and every time I see you, and I'm like, well, there she goes, just keeping being beautiful all the time.
No,
Awesome.
Thank you, but I have a question for you guys. It's about YouTube.
Sure.
So I have so much freaking content with my digital art, but I am literally stuck between I have my Summer Silvery YouTube and I have my Tenacious Ones YouTube. For some reason, I feel like I have to separate them because I have children's books, I have cartoon creations, I have Draw With Me where it's just me drawing, and then I have just behind the scenes, follow my animation journey. So I don't know why I didn't put it on my Summer Silvery YouTube channel because I felt so guilty that I had over 20 something videos from one of my cartoon creations over a year ago, but life happened and shit hit the fan and I had to stop doing that. So I felt guilty. And so I started Tenacious Ones from scratch, which was dumb, but I should go back to my name, right? You should have your name. I'm not a big enough YouTube. I have 400 subscribers on my personal one. So it's not like I'm this big thing and it would be a ginormous shift, but what is your opinion? It should be your name, right?
I feel like you've already convinced yourself. So you go, girl. You've made the right decision.
I never know with that kind of stuff because it's when people search on YouTube, they're searching people's name. That's the quickest thing, right?
Well, don't take advice from someone who doesn't actually use their name online. I am literally Shelly Saves the Day online. So
But
don't listen to me.
On YouTube.
Don't listen to me.
I think in your case, Summer, it probably would be best if you use your name because you are an author. It's going to be your name on the book. So yeah, I think that's probably the way.
I think in your case, it might actually make more sense for you because people know you as a published author, and Amazon they find you, and then you can link your. I probably.
I want to know more about your book.
they're children's books, but I was just wondering your guys' opinion because it's I know, as a digital artist, to you guys, is it that big of a difference between illustrating children's books and cartoon creations?
No.
So to digital artists or people to you, it's not a big difference, is it?
No, it's really not. Not to me.
Okay. That's good feedback. I needed that.
I would just take down all your videos and you could always throw them up on your other channel too. Or you could keep the videos there, do a playlist, keep them, and then just create a home channel playlist of all of your old videos from your other thing, but have them displayed on your current channel.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start adding shit to my Summer Silvery one. because that makes sense. And I keep getting like same feedback. I keep asking people, and I'm getting the similar responses from you guys. So thank you.
I was like, you already know what to do. You don't need our advice. You knew the answer. You're like, I'm pretty sure I should do this. And we're like, yep.
I'm still hesitant on it though a little bit because I don't think that way. So it's good to hear what people have to say for sure.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
She needs validation.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, okay, you got troll behind you. What is that, like a game or is that art? What is that exactly?
Oh my
Oh, I was like, are you talking about her or like me?
It's like it's behind the scenes, the Troll cartoon book. It shows like all like the steps of creating that animated movie from DreamWorks. I have Family Guy too.
Ah, nice.
Ooh.
Oh, I've got Toy Story too. I've got like tons of them.
Oh, you
all around.
You are definitely in your element. That is
I love like cartoon creation and just storytelling through that kind of stuff. And I don't want to like be seen as just making cartoons for children. So starting shortly, I'm going to have a cartoon series for adults, like popping up all the time, which is why I was trying to decide if it's my Tenacious Ones or Summer Silvery, but people know my name more than Tenacious Ones. So
indeed.
That
So I got
sounds
a question for you, Summer, but I'm gonna come back to you because I need to talk to Yesenia here.
perfect.
Okay.
It's like, what
Eyebrow raise.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want with me? So I know you work on Minecraft, but can you talk about exactly what you do on the Minecraft team? Like, I'm just curious.
So I am a producer. So what a producer does, let's see, how do I explain this other than saying cat herding? I am kind of the middle person. And if you were to look at a Venn diagram, so you have your creatives, your engineers, your stakeholders and business partners, and then you have the producer in the middle. So the producer is working with all of these departments in order to make sure we're aligned on goals and what we want to do to ship our game and features. And then I make sure that we deliver those features on time and on quality and on budget and get them out the door. So that is what a producer does, and that's my job.
Interesting.
Whoa.
It's a lot of fun. I love working with people and I love problem solving and thinking of creative solutions when there's tight deadlines. So it's like, it's my jam. Like I can talk about it all day, all night.
That's so cool.
Now, how long have you been working with the Minecraft team?
So Minecraft specifically, I've been working with them for almost 2.5 years. Before that, I worked at Pokemon.
Oh.
And I was with Pokemon for 3 years.
Wow.
Okay. So I got another question for you. Me and you were in the Microsoft room one of the Microsoft rooms on Clubhouse the other night. And there were some people in there talking about how they don't actually game, which kind of blew my mind because they work for Xbox, but they don't game. Tell me you game, Yesenia. You play some games, right?
I definitely game. I think it may have been worded differently. So this is very common for people who work in the industry that you tend to spend less time in gaming when you work in that industry. So I definitely still play video games because I've been a gamer. I'm going to date myself, but since like the NES, and like I've always played video games, and that's been a passion, which is why I got into the industry I'm in. But I definitely have noticed that the more time I spend in the industry, the less time I see myself playing video games. However, I still play games because it's my passion, and two, that's how you learn about other games and what they're doing in order to develop what I need to. So I think it really depends what field you're in the games industry. Because for me specifically, I'm building features and actually building the game itself. Right. I think people like me tend to reduce the amount of gaming that we actually do, whether other people may like, oh, they're in marketing, and it's not to say that their job isn't important, but they're further pulled away from the actual day-to-day grind of it, that they may have more mental capacity to play games, if that makes any sense. It's just, there's been times where it's like, I just can't, because I've been looking at this all day and like figuring out problems and thinking about games all day, that sometimes I just want to sit on the couch now and binge watch something on Netflix. Like that's what I do.
No, I definitely understand that. It just kind of blew my mind that there are people that work on the Xbox team that flat out said they don't game. I'm like, how are you on the Xbox team and you don't game? Now, I understand stepping back because if that's what you do all day for work, and obviously you want to step away. I mean, we have tech YouTubers that don't watch tech videos, so I completely understand like becoming detached from what you do. but to work on the Xbox team and not game, I'm like, huh? I'm like,
I know plenty of people who don't game and
Yeah,
work
but
on.
I think it
can go
depends
both
on the
ways.
field.
Yeah, it can go all ways, because just because you work on a product doesn't mean you want to like go home and then use that same product. You know, it's like, I'm sick of this. And if you go and you look at only lines of code on what's going to happen, like sometimes the last thing you want to do is go home and like do more of what you just got home from doing. Like, I don't blame them at all. If you know, or there's people who make apps and they don't use the apps. And that's fine, because they have an entire team that is there to QA it, and they don't need to do that. They just need to know that when X happens and it's not supposed to happen, then let's go make sure that we change that like weird if statement that's in the code so it doesn't do that the next time. But it doesn't mean that they're any worse of a developer because they didn't want to open up the app and use it.
I not completely understand that. And it's funny, John, because I was actually thinking about you when I was saying that. When I was saying, I'm like, I was thinking about John. John Proust is the perfect example of a person that does tech content, but he does not watch tech videos most of the time. So I was actually thinking about you. So funny that you chimed in. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Congratulations to Mr. Prosser for making a queen like official. Like,
that's right.
Oh, getting engaged.
Yeah, he got engaged.
Yeah,
that's right.
Congratulations.
Had her on the channel earlier today.
I know.
What's up, John?
She was looking good.
Definitely.
So I definitely like, I play my game, because that's something I really encourage people to do, especially as a producer and developers. It's like, eat your own dog food. You have to play your product, work with your product, and use it every day. If not, you're not going to find out what the end-to-end user experience is, and you're going to develop a really crappy product.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense. Definitely. Appreciate the explanation. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So Summer, back to you. I am curious. Obviously you are a digital artist, and I know you are working with a children's author who doesn't use human beings in her book, which is your forte, which I heard you say. But my
Monday.
What, you're right. So I'm curious, like, what is your process for like digital illustration actually no. The question I want to ask is, what is your process for illustrating someone's book? Because obviously you didn't write the book, but obviously you have to read it so you can like get that visual of how to begin the illustration process. So is it just one of those things where you like read what they wrote and then visualize it in your mind and then put that visualization to art, or how do you do that exactly?
It honestly depends on the person, because if somebody's already done that and they have like a specific thing that they want illustrated, they'll write it out for me and then I'll do it. But I really, really enjoy reading things and then bringing it to life in my head with like the illustrations, because that's what I do all day long. That's why I love drawing so much, because I can put it on paper, like what I'm thinking. So it just depends on the person, because if they have like a specific, she has two books that she wants me to illustrate. One of her books, and they're both children's books, but one of the books is about a specific animal that is like near and dear to her, which is what makes the story incredible. So there's lots of things that I have to nail on the head in order to bring that story to life and make it mean what it needs to mean to her. And then her other story, I'm like free reins with it. I can do whatever I want. And I'm excited because I can think about what would be like the perfect thing to perfect picture to like create for this specific page, like page 1. What am I going to illustrate for this? Oh my gosh, I love doing that so much. It's awesome.
That is pretty cool. That is a pretty unique ability to be able to illustrate someone else's thoughts and feelings to paper.
I think I mean, I don't know if it's TMI or whatever, but I had like massive ADD in school, and I didn't want to take medicine for it because I just didn't want to be a zombie or make it do something weird to me. So I would literally write or draw in classes. I was a person in my college lectures pulling out a dry erase board from my backpack and drawing on it. That was the only way I could focus and like consume what the teacher or professor was trying to show me. And I felt so like dumb about that at first, but it worked for me. And then I just owned it. And that's what I like to share with people, because I'm like, hey, whatever works for you, whatever process works. Because I mean, school, I dropped out of college after 4.5 years. And 4.5. I have a semester left. I'm not going back. I don't want a plan B. But like, you just have to find what works for you. And that's what it was for me, the visuals. So yeah.
I am such a visual learner as well too. Like, oh my gosh, what you said just kind of resonates with me in a sense that growing up, learning math was so difficult for me. Math was very anxiety inducing for me. And, you know, I grew up in New York and public school system was different. And so I'm totally going to share this because I have no shame. And whoever's watching, like, this is it. But essentially, I was struggling with math that I didn't realize this until as an adult. I was like, oh, I was put in like remedial math, like the special class, because I was having such a hard time with it. And that's like super typical in the New York public school system, where they're like, oh, you're having trouble, so we're going to put you into this class now. And so for me, it's really has been trying to teach myself how to comprehend things that are super difficult for me to understand. And that's how visual learners works really well in my favor. And so for me, going into the games industry and working with engineers was so anxiety. It like brought the same feeling of learning math all over again, where I'm like, oh my gosh, you're speaking technical things. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a coder. How am I going to understand this? And instead I like had to just dive into it and keep pushing myself. And that's how I learned speaking engineer is essentially like, okay, cool. Let's work it out on the whiteboard, draw it out for me. Like, how does the system actually work? And then once I see it on the whiteboard, I'm like, oh, okay. And you may have to explain it to me like 10, 20 times until I finally get it. But it took me getting used to asking questions, because growing up, I always felt stupid to ask questions. And so I really had to overcome that as an adult.
Yeah, for sure.
That is pretty cool. You definitely made great strides. So that is what's up. Shelly, what's going on over there? You quiet right now? Yeah.
Just listening.
Why you call her out like that?
Oh no! I have to. When Shelly gets quiet, I'm concerned, so I have to make sure she.
Well, usually I'm plotting to kill someone, so yeah. He's just checking in on his own. Like, am I safe? Is this a? She's not gonna come in and like ninja kill me, sneak attack. So it's usually like, you know.
Yeah. All right. So, Summer, I'm curious, whose idea was it to come up with the daily affirmation? Was that your idea, Cody, Steve, or a combination?
It was mine. So I have a Your Daily Affirmation card, like Instagram, that I started last April. And it's like, I like positivity, inspiration, things to help people, let them know that they're not alone. So I just make these cards, like I illustrate them and then I post them. And then in the description, it's something that people can relate to. It's like a general thing. And then when I was on Clubhouse, I was trying to be smart about it, because I'm like, okay, it's January 5th. This is like private right now. What can I take advantage of in this moment that would probably help me in the future when it goes public? And I'm like, I need to get a club. Like, I need to get a club. Everybody wants to get a club. How do I get a club? So I jumped on like trying to figure that out, and I Googled it, and then you had to fill out that paper and all that stuff and host all that stuff and do whatever, which I didn't do any of it. And somehow my club got approved anyways. And I like started it, and I'm like, I need to do it actively every day, because I've seen people like cheat the system already by being live and having like 1 billion moderators at a time, so that their room can be open like 24/7, like constantly, like 40 hours a week, 70 hours a week.
Yep.
So they just constantly keep trading moderators and like over and over and over again. And I'm like, I definitely can't do that, but I can be consistent with my club and make a room every day. So I found Cody and Stevie. Like I found Cody, and I was like, he would be perfect because he has like similar mindset as me. And I know that he would like pop on and do this. It's like 5:30 in the morning, my time, 6:30 his time. And then he was like, Stevie should join too. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, he can pop on. And then it's just been consistent the last 2 weeks, which is awesome. Like, I love it so much to be able to help people just get their morning going, like in a good way.
Yeah.
And you're one of them.
Yeah, I love popping in, listening to you guys every morning. So I just got a quick comment about you not wanting to finish up your last semester of college because you don't want a plan B. I don't like, obviously this is your thing, and I mean, I mean, what you do is what you do, but I don't know if I would feel like it's a plan B per se. I look at it as just another tool in your tool belt. I mean,
yeah, I've heard like lots of people say that. To me, though, it's like I am so mad at myself that I stayed that long. And I grew up where it's like you go to high school, go to college, meet the love of your life, get married, kids, blah, 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 all that norm stuff. But I was struggling so hard in college. Like I should have like dropped out 2 years earlier. And I was in that mindset of like, I am literally trying to stay in college because I have no idea what I want to do when I graduate. Like there is no job out there that fits me at all. So I was so confused, and I was just like holding on as long as I could because I didn't want to leave, but I did want to leave. I was stuck. So going back, like it's honestly like, I don't want to, and I could, but I also like just knowing that I have that much left. I don't want to.
You know what?
No.
That is cool. I respect that. I wish I had like half of your brain when I was your age, because I don't know where I'll be today, but I probably would be where I am. But still,
well, I'm dumb too because I should have I still got my student loans for what? Like for no reason. For no reason. I mean, I was going to college for communications and marketing. I was in Stratcom. So I did learn some stuff in that, and I took a ton of public speaking courses. I had enough credits to minor in psychology, and so there's like lots of little tidbits that I learned, but I've learned so much more being out of college.
Me and you about to have a talk. We about to chat real quick. So you say you're dumb because you got student loans. I got student loans too, but are you really going to tell me that through the 4.5 years that you went to college that you regret it? Are you saying if you had to do it again, you wouldn't do it?
Oh, I wouldn't. No,
Oh.
I definitely, I honestly, I didn't even have a college experience. I wasn't on campus. I was commuting. I was living at home. I didn't have any friends. Like I literally was not living that college like experience at all. I had my high school friends that eventually we just went like this because totally different people.
Right.
And the classes were just insane. I started at a community college for 2 years because I had to pay my way through college. I wanted to go to a 4-year college, couldn't afford it. So I was at a community college for 2 years, commuting from home. And then I went to The Ohio State University, and that's basically a joke. You're a number to them. They do not care if you're there or not because so many people want to be there. Classes of 500 people. Like I was just not learning anything. I was like barely having my head up above water before I got booted out because my GPA was so low. I'm like sweating now.
So me and you had different college experiences. So I get why you wouldn't want to do it again because Ohio State, all those kids and the way they probably treated you on campus as a number, and like you said, probably not the best experience, but
there was definitely not anything special about it through my experience. Like I know you learn a lot in life when you're in college, not just the college part, but I didn't have that part either.
I got you. Okay. But still, I mean, even with all that, I mean, you now are on the path to living your dreams. You're doing what you want to do. You are on your path to having your own children's book, and you're doing other people's children's book. So, I mean, it wasn't all for naught. I mean, you are on the right path, even though it took you maybe a little bit longer than what you anticipated. But you still somehow, even through all of that, you found the right path. So. Hey.
It took that. Like it definitely took that because it was like a boiling point of me like crying in my closet, biting my nails, having like panic attacks going, this is not the life for me. And then it like all of a sudden changed because it all came to a head. And then I was like, I'm done. So I needed that. So I guess I wouldn't change that because that's what put me here right now. But yeah.
Roberto, we're not going to start because we know how you feel. We've had this conversation 1,000 times, Roberto. We know. We understand.
I agree with him.
I
graduated from college, and
I do too. Yeah, you know, people, especially today with the internet and YouTube and everything out there, college, yeah, you don't really need to go to college. But I love what we were talking about earlier this morning, talking about how everybody, I think, in that room didn't follow the typical life path. We didn't like start a family, have kids, do all this other stuff. We decided to go our own path, most of us, and I think that's critical because you don't have to be the societal norm. You don't have to follow the life preordained, chosen path for you. You can go out and blaze your own trail. You can go out and do your own thing. You can go out and live your dreams. And I think that's important for the people that want to do that, just as important for those other people that want to follow the preordained path. So I love that conversation that we had. That was an amazing talk.
Absolutely. I mean, but there has to be the other people too.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be people having families and kids and working with 9 to 5s, and you know what I mean? There's like a good balance, and there's nothing at all wrong with that.
Right.
But what's wrong is when those people put pressure on you because you're not living their life. And that's the thing that's wrong, because you're not pressuring them to be like, no, you need to get out of your hometown. Come on, move across the country. We're not doing that to them.
Right.
Don't tell me I need to have babies right now.
There it is. There it is.
Wow. Oh man. Okay. No, I will not tell you to put out babies. I will not do that. Oh boy. But yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, and it's archaic when people try to perpetuate their belief onto you, like you're supposed to follow their path. Like, oh no.
There's so many paths in life, and like people also want to make you feel bad if, let's say, you've openly expressed you don't want to have kids, or you openly express that you want to be a stay-at-home mom, or you've openly expressed that, like, you know, say what you never want to get married.
Women can't win.
Yeah. And like there's always this group of people that are like, that's not okay. That's not the norm. That's not what we want or expect from you. And I'm like, well, that's funny, because you neither pay more like my bills nor live with me. So as my non-life partner, you don't make that decision with me. Like it's weird how that happens. So I think that if you want to have kids, great. If you don't, if you want to go to college, if you want to not go to college, I think it's your prerogative. And I just don't like it when other people try and enforce, like, you can't have a fulfilled life if you don't have children, or if you don't graduate from college, or you don't buy the house, or you know, or you're a renter, and you don't travel the world for a year in Europe. Like, I think that whatever people want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody, let them live their life.
Yeah, I saw this, I don't know if it was a quote or somebody quoted somebody on Twitter or what, but it was really cool because this isn't meant, this could be for men or female, but everybody always asks, like, what job do you have? How's your job going? What's family life like? You single, you dating? But nobody asks anybody if they're happy.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will answer all of your other questions, because that's all you need to know. It's your life. It's your business. It's not anybody else's. But if you're happy, who cares?
It's like it's almost as if everything circles around our marital status, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's like, oh, are you single? Oh, why? It's this constant thing of like, oh, you should put on makeup. Oh, you're trying too hard. Oh, you should really focus on your kids. Oh, but now you're like, you should work and have a job. Oh, but now you're not a good enough mom, because, you know, it's just constant, like,
someone else raise your kids.
Yeah. It's just a constant cycle of like, we can't win no matter what. Where it's like, you're trying too hard, put on makeup. Oh no, not like that. So yeah, it's definitely really difficult, because it's almost the same thing as like at the Oscars, where people ask the women like, oh, where's this dress? Where'd you get this outfit from? It's like, freaking ask me about like my accomplishments. Like, this doesn't define me.
Yeah.
It's also a lack of critical thinking, I think. Some of this stuff is like pre-programmed. Like when you approach somebody, it's like, how are you? Or how's the family? Blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like, you know what? You didn't even have to think about those questions. Those are just pre-programmed societal questions that everybody asks. But the reason why nobody ever asked about happiness, because I don't know if we think that enough to even ask about happiness, or thinking about somebody's happiness doesn't even enter our sphere, because we're too busy asking the pre-programmed questions that everybody asks. Like, it's almost like when somebody like losing a loved one online and everybody rushes in like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, 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 my condolences. I'm just in like, I'm not doing that, because that's just like pre-programmed. And like, do you even care? Like, I mean, I know you care, but do you really care? it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
No, I totally agree. When I feel like being from the Midwest and coming to California, I'm different than people here. But I walk into the coffee shop or wherever, and people would be like, so how are you going? Or how's it going? Or something like that, like a pre-programmed thing for the cash person to talk. And I'm like, terrible. And they're like, oh, okay. Some
That's
people,
even if they listen, yeah.
It's so programmed, but they're like not even asking
me
you like,
too.
to actually care.
And then like some people will be like, yeah, whatever. And then other people will just be like, what? Really? And I'm like, no, I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm breathing. Everything's good. Like I'm in here getting coffee. And it's so weird. Like I love throwing people off like that because they're not expecting it. And it's funny, the people that really are expecting it, because they'll totally dismiss that whole thing.
Right. Yep. Because we program. Yep.
For me, I'd rather someone ask me how I'm doing if they're genuine about it. If you actually want to know how I'm doing, ask. If you don't do it. Don't ask, because I will tell you how I'm doing. And right now, I'm not okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Are you prepared to go down there that well?
Right.
Ready. What's up?
There's been times I've done that where I'm like, are you asking because of habit, or do you really want to know how I'm doing? And that throws people off too. And they're like, oh, you don't actually know.
I know which bucket you're in.
Yep. Not ready.
You don't care.
You did not come prepared to have that question answered.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Do you really care?
Yeah.
Like you just said that too.
I love doing that. It's great. I think it's my chaotic brain, but it's like after the year I've had, I'm like, do you really care? Because I can tell you, do you pull up a chair, get some beer or something? We're going to be here a while.
Yeah, already. Absolutely. Love it. I love it. Oh my God. This has been an amazing conversation, man. Seriously. Thank you, ladies. This has been great.
For sure.
Shelly, what you doing this weekend?
Well, I have a video that I'm going to film for Sunday's release. Hopefully, maybe I can get through 2. We'll see how that goes. But filming.
Nice. Summer, are you digital artisting this weekend, or are you chilling?
I am like stacking up on content just because I'm learning how to make backlogs of like content or like bulk content so that I'm not posting and like posting and making stuff. I'm like actually have a lot of stuff, and then I can release it at certain times. Mm-hmm. So I'm just stacking up on stuff so I can go back to my Summer Silvery channel and stay there.
Nice. I am sure you will do amazing. Definitely.
Thank you.
You didn't ask Yesenia.
What's that?
You didn't ask Yesenia.
Can I get there? Can I get
No, apparently not. And I'm making sure that there's equal representation.
I was heading there next.
You better not forget. It sounded like you forgot. So I want to make sure.
I was on my way until I was interrupted.
Okay, good.
Well, now I don't want to answer.
Do you want to know how she really feels? Or do
do you really want to know? Or are you just like,
are you just asking it
a can question?
You out.
No, Yesenia, what are you doing this weekend? Yes, I want to know. I am free.
I'm just gonna chill, and TMI, I have a therapy session tomorrow, because taking care of mental illness is not something to be ashamed of, folks. I go to therapy. I love my therapist.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing this weekend. And if the weather's nice, probably go skating and maybe jump into some video games this weekend.
Okay.
Good for you. I know you were like, ooh, prefacing with TMI, but no, I think it's important for people to talk about that stuff because, a lot of people think that there's supposed to be some sort of shame in not presenting that like perfect smile of like perfection and happiness on the, when you really tell people how you feel and how you are. So I think that's awesome. Good for you. And FYI, not to plug Clubhouse too much, but so my friend, and I think your friend, Summer, which is Lord Peachy, right? Scott Peachy, he has a Clubhouse room that he does, I believe, on Tuesdays, and it's about balancing mental health and being an online creator, or just not even just the creator part, but everything. And that might be a good room to be in because he's such a good guy, a chill guy. And so that would probably be a safe, welcoming spot to have those types of conversations as well. I know he also, he has a family and he talks about sometimes that and balancing that as part of interweaving everything. But that might be a conversation to come in on.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know.
That's incredible. He is from Ohio, like me, and we actually lived so close. We got coffee a few times, and he is a very good person to like talk. He's just really comforting, and he's really good at talking, and just, I don't know, he articulates things really well.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
His name is Scott Peachy, and it's a EY. So, and you see him, and the reason we call Lord Peachy is because he bought like a 1 square inch of land or something over in Scotland. And so officially it comes with a fake little title. And so he's now Lord Peachy. And you can buy one as a lady as well, and you'll be an official lady. But he is Lord Peachy, Scott Peachy. Oh, and his channel, you can also find him under Technically Speaking. And he's got a little peach face emoji. So he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's cool people. And the other thing is that a lot of people won't even admit that they have a mental illness. So to even get checked out and get therapy. So the fact that you are upfront about it and admitting it, and you are taking a step to go ahead and handle that, there you go. That's what's up.
And I don't think there's something to like admit. I think it just is. It's not something you have to be like ashamed or like you have to like present to the world as if like accept me. It's just like it just is. And I think it needs to be fine. Like. So
let's like I want these conversations to be normalized. It's something I've been super open about in the past few years where I used to hide. So, I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I've been suffering with this since I was 18 at least, or younger than that. And I think 18 is when I actually understood what was really happening with my body. But yeah, it's something I've kind of looked into and taken care of for decades now. And I think it's super important to talk about it because so many people, I think, suffer in silence, and because it's been stigmatized. And so I think the more we talk about it more openly and the more we normalize it, the more help I think people can get. And so I really encourage people to take care of themselves, go to therapy. It's totally okay to have. If you were sick, you'd go to the doctor. It's the same exact thing where it's like this, you're sick essentially. My dog has feelings as well too, about this whole thing. But yeah, it's been great. And like once I've started seeing a therapist, it has worked wonders for me. And so there's definitely times for me that it's difficult to do my job because people may not see me as a creative type because I'm a producer, but I do have to be creative and have to be on because as part of my job, I have to be a cheerleader and kind of like, and for any Overwatch players, I play a support role where I amplify everyone else's, I boost their performance. And so my job is boosting everyone's performance, being a cheerleader, bringing up morale, getting everyone to rally against something. And so sometimes I also have to think of problem solving and creative solutions. And so when like I have depression swings, like I'm on my downswing, it's very difficult to like even think about that. And my thoughts are just jumbled a lot. So sometimes I struggle with that every day.
I think it's harder for some people who also have like more of like the invisible illnesses like depression or, anything like that, because people are like, if you told someone like I have a broken leg, you can obviously see it. I'm walking around with crutches and I'm hobbling. Like they don't really question that. But if you just say like, I'm not in the best mental space or I have feelings of depression or anything like that. And they're like, well, you look fine. Well, you look beautiful today. You look smiling.
Yes.
And it's like, I can still I can still be pretty and not feeling my best, and it's harder when it's some of those more invisible diseases. Like you have to like wear it as if like there needs to be something visibly on the surface wrong with me for you to believe that I'm just not doing my best right now.
Yeah, it's definitely like, that's definitely a struggle that I've had in my life where it's people don't know, like when I tell them I suffer from that, they're surprised because it is an invisible illness and you wouldn't know by just talking to me because I'm usually very outgoing, but that's also at the same time, it works in my favor in a way, but it's also a coping mechanism for a sign of depression where you're high functioning and you're compensating in other areas where it's like you're performing really well or you're doing this and that, and it's just because you're trying to cope with what's actually happening inside our brains. And so most of the time people don't notice that I'm depressed or anything because I just kind of keep it to myself, and people interact with me at work and they don't know that anything's really wrong unless I tell them something's wrong, or if they're really close with me and they can tell like something's off with me.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to hide when you just act like a normal person would, or act happy or whatever it is, that you need to get through your day to make it so that people stop bugging you or asking you like the hard questions of how you really feel. So like,
yeah. I think that's why that question like bugs me, because it's like, I have a mental illness and sometimes I'm not okay, and it's okay to not be okay. And so when people ask me, like, I really want you to be genuine when you're asking me if I'm okay, because there are days when I am not doing well, and I'm going to tell you that, and I need you to not make me feel shitty about it, where it kind of stigmatizes me even more and kind of makes me feel shameful for how I actually feel.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think you bring up a very good point that the conversations need to become more normal, so other people can know that they're not alone, because obviously you're not the only one that's dealing with those type of things. There's a lot of us that have things that we're dealing with. So it would be cool if we would know that, okay, other people are dealing with these things as well, and we are not alone. So these are definitely good conversations to have for sure. Awesome.
Yeah, something I do when I don't want to get into it, because I've had friends who like reached out to me over the past 10 months, and I have a really great support system because they check in on me. They know that I struggle with depression, so they check in on me when something's off, to make sure like I'm okay. And there's times where some friends do ask me like, how are you doing? And I'm just really upfront, like, I'm not okay, but I actually don't want to talk about it because I'm exhausted. And so that's usually a response that I do. And luckily my friends all take that super well. So I don't know if anyone in the audience has those problems, but that's usually helped me. If you're running into that issue, it's just being like, hey, I have a lot of things going on. I don't really want to get into the details, but this is where I'm at mentally right now.
You have awesome friends, definitely. And on that note, you all, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I appreciate all the ladies who joined me tonight. Thank you to Summer and Shelly and Yesenia and the other ladies that joined me. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Give me about a few minutes after this ends so I can put all their links and information in the description. I will definitely be doing that. We definitely need to get together. I can't talk. We definitely need to get together again and do this sometime. I appreciate the lady giving me the time. So thank you all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'd love to do this again for sure. I've never done this before.
Me either. This is awesome.
Newbies.
You did great.
Yeah, you all were amazing. Thank you. We will definitely get together and do this again. Absolutely. Again, for those of y'all watching live, the next time I will be live on this channel will be Monday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the podcast Vibe Drive. It will be me and John Rettinger on Monday night. So definitely come back for that. That should be an awesome chat. He was my very first guest ever on the podcast. So after some 143 episodes, he's finally coming back. So yeah, check it out on Monday night. We'll be here. And you can find these ladies on Twitter or Clubhouse or YouTube or doing whatever it is that they'll be doing. Yep. You point to our Twitter right there.
Oh wait,
I know. I had a
Summer Silvery on YouTube. Go subscribe to her. She's gonna have animations and comics for adults. You got it. Everyone, go subscribe to Summer.
Oh, great.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let me my throat here so I can hit this outro real quick. Oh boy, oh man, awesome night. Thank all of you sincerely. I appreciate it. You all have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. I will catch you guys on Monday evening. But until the next time, people, this your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.